The satisfying crack of the slap echoed through the 8-year-old's bedroom at 2:47 in the morning. "Shut up." Vanessa Monroe's hand connected with little Zoe's face so hard the child flew backward onto her bed. "Your daddy doesn't want you. If he did, he would have noticed what I've been doing to you for 8 months." Zoe screamed. Blood trickled from her split lip. "Daddy, please, Daddy, help me!" Vanessa grabbed a fistful of the child's hair and yanked her head back. "Scream all you want, you pathetic little thing. I put something special in Daddy's tea tonight. He won't hear anything, not even you dying." She didn't know that the antique butterfly hair clip tangled in Zoe's hair was recording every word, every slap, every threat, every confession. And in less than 48 hours, this recording would send her to prison for the rest of her miserable life. If you want to see this monster face justice, subscribe to our channel right now. Watch this story until the very end. And comment below with the city you're watching from. I want to see how far this story travels. Now let me tell you how this satisfying nightmare began. Marcus Thompson's phone exploded with an alert he had never heard before. He was alone in his home office at 2:51 a.m., buried in quarterly reports that his board demanded by morning. 3 cups of cold coffee cluttered his desk. His eyes burned. His back ached. But Thompson Dynamics didn't run itself, and as the CEO of a billion-dollar tech company, sleep was a luxury he couldn't afford. The phone vibrated with a violence that made him jump. Emergency audio alert. Critical keywords detected. Immediate review required. Marcus frowned. The monitoring app. His best friend Derek had installed it just yesterday, hidden inside the butterfly hair clip he'd given his daughter Zoe. The clip that had belonged to her mother, Camille. The clip that was supposed to keep his little girl safe. He pressed play. The first sound was the door being kicked open. Then Vanessa's voice filled his ears, not the sweet, caring tone she used around him. This was something else entirely. Cold. Vicious. Dripping with hatred. "Wake up, you worthless little brat." Marcus's daughter answered, confused and terrified. "What? What's wrong? Is Daddy okay?" "Your father is fine. He's sleeping like a baby, like he always does. Do you know why, Zoe? Because I put something in his tea. Something that makes him sleep so deeply he won't hear anything. Not your screaming, not your begging, nothing." Marcus stopped breathing. "Why are you telling me this?" Zoe's voice trembled. "Because tomorrow morning you and I are taking a little trip. Dr. Patterson found a special place for difficult children like you, far away in the mountains, a place called Meadowbrook Academy. I don't want to go to boarding school. I want to stay with Daddy." "It's not a boarding school, stupid girl. It's more like a place where children disappear, where no one ever finds them, where no one even looks." Marcus heard his daughter start to sob. "I want my daddy. Daddy, Daddy, help me." "Your daddy doesn't want you." Vanessa laughed. "If he wanted you, he would have noticed what I've been doing to you for 8 months. But he didn't notice, did he? Because he doesn't care. He never cared. You're just a burden he inherited from his dead wife." "That's not true. Daddy loves me. He gave me Mommy's butterfly clip. He said, a sharp crack, flesh hitting flesh." "Don't you ever mention that clip again?" Zoe screamed in pain. "This ugly piece of junk, your father had it sitting in a box for 5 years. 5 years, Zoe. He never once thought to give it to you. I'm the one who suggested it. I'm the one who made him look like he actually gives a damn. But he doesn't. Nobody does. You're nothing. You're less than nothing. And tomorrow, you'll be gone. Daddy, please, Daddy, wake up, please." Vanessa's laughter filled the recording, cruel, satisfied. "Scream louder, I dare you. The whole house could burn down, and your precious daddy wouldn't wake up. I made sure of that." Sounds of struggle, furniture scraping, a child crying out in agony. "No, let go. You're hurting my arm." This is nothing compared to what happens to bad little girls who don't follow rules. Now listen carefully. Tomorrow at 7 a.m., a car will arrive. You will get in without arguing. You will smile and wave goodbye to your father. And you will never ever tell anyone what I've done to you. Because if you do, if you say one single word, I will tell everyone you're mentally disturbed. That you tried to hurt yourself. That you need to be locked away in an institution. And your father will believe me. He always believes me. Do you understand? Zoe sobbing, gasping, choking on her own tears. Please, please don't send me away. I'll be good. I promise I'll be good. I'll do anything. Too late for promises, Zoe. Too late for anything. A door slammed. Then 8 minutes of crying. 8 minutes of his 8-year-old daughter sobbing alone in the dark. 8 minutes that shattered something inside Marcus Thompson. And then, barely audible, whispered through tears. Mommy, I'm so scared. Mommy, where are you? Why doesn't Daddy hear me? Mommy, please. Please come back. Please make her stop. Mommy, I want to be with you. The recording ended. Marcus sat frozen. The phone slipped from his numb fingers and clattered on the desk. She drugged me. His wife. The woman he married 18 months ago. The woman he trusted with his daughter. She had been drugging his tea every night. The grogginess he'd been feeling lately. The way he slept through alarms. The strange dreams he couldn't remember. It all made horrifying sense now. She's been planning this. For months. Maybe longer. And while he slept peacefully in their king-sized bed, his baby girl was being tortured 20 feet down the hall. Marcus's hands were shaking so violently he could barely grip the desk. He wanted to storm into the master bedroom right now. He wanted to drag Vanessa out of his house by her perfect blonde hair. He wanted to call the police. He wanted to kill her with his bare hands, but he forced himself to breathe, forced himself to think. If I confront her now, she'll deny everything. She'll claim I'm paranoid. She'll take Zoe and disappear before the police even arrive. I need more. I need evidence she can't explain away. I need to catch her. His phone buzzed again. Text from Derek Mitchell. Marcus. Call me right now. I found something. Something bad. You need to hear this. Marcus called immediately. Derek answered before the first ring finished. Marcus, where are you? Home office. I just heard the recording from Zoe's clip. Derek, Vanessa has been... I know. I got the same alert. The AI flagged it. But Marcus, there's something else. Something worse. I've been digging into Vanessa's background all night. Her real name isn't Vanessa Monroe. Marcus gripped the phone so hard his knuckles went white. What are you talking about? Her real name is Nicole Strand. And Marcus, she's done this before. 3 times before. The room started spinning. What do you mean 3 times? I'm sending you the files right now. Robert Chen, Seattle, 2018. Wealthy tech executive. Widower. 7-year-old daughter. Nicole married him, and 8 months later, he died in a car accident. Brake failure. His daughter Emma vanished into foster care. They still haven't found her. Marcus couldn't breathe. Gregory Morrison, Portland, 2020. Investment banker. Widower. 8-year-old son named Christopher. Nicole married him, spent 6 months convincing everyone he was an abusive father, then divorced him and took everything. Christopher tried to kill himself at age 10. He's in a psychiatric facility now. Jesus Christ. Alan Westbrook, Phoenix, 2022. Real estate developer. Widower. 9-year-old daughter. Nicole poisoned him slowly over 3 months. He survived barely. He's in witness protection now because she threatened to finish the job. His daughter Maya was found in a trafficking operation in Mexico 6 months after Nicole disappeared. Marcus felt vomit rising in his throat. She's a predator, Marcus. A serial predator. She targets wealthy widowers with young daughters. She marries them. She isolates the children. She embezzles money. Then she either kills the father or destroys him legally. And the children disappear. Where do they go? Derek's voice dropped to a whisper. The ones they've found trafficking. Illegal adoption overseas. The ones they haven't found. Nobody knows. Nobody wants to know. Marcus's vision was blurring. The room was tilting. There's one more thing. Derek's voice cracked. Your wife, Camille. She contacted the FBI 8 days before her accident. Marcus stopped breathing entirely. What? She found out who Vanessa really was. She gathered evidence. She was going to meet with agents the day after she died. Marcus. The brake failure that killed Camille. It's the same method Nicole used on Robert Chen. Exact same pattern. A mechanic examined your Mercedes this afternoon. Your brake line has been cut. 80% severed. One hard stop on the highway and you're dead. The phone fell from Marcus's hand. Camille knew. His wife had known. She'd tried to protect their family. She'd gathered evidence. She was going to expose Nicole. And Nicole had murdered her for it. For 5 years, Marcus had believed it was a tragic accident. He'd buried his wife. He'd grieved until he thought he would die from the pain. He'd thrown himself into work because it was the only thing that kept him from putting a gun in his mouth. And then Vanessa appeared. Beautiful, charming, understanding. I lost my parents young too, Marcus. I know what it feels like to be alone. She had been hunting him. From the very first moment at that charity gala, she had been hunting him, studying him, learning his weaknesses, playing a role designed specifically to capture him. And he had fallen for every single word. He had invited a murderer into his home, given her access to his daughter, married her, slept beside her every night while she plotted to kill him and sell his child. Marcus picked up the phone with shaking hands. Derek, what time is it? 4:07 a.m. Why? The car service comes at 7. That gives me less than 3 hours. 3 hours to do what? To get my daughter out of this house, to gather every piece of evidence, and to make sure Nicole Strand never hurts another child again. Marcus, if you confront her. I'm not going to confront her, not yet. First I get Zoe somewhere safe. Then I call the FBI. Then Detective Chen. Then every news station in Los Angeles. By tomorrow afternoon, her face will be on every screen in America. She won't be able to hide anywhere. What do you need from me? Everything. Every document you found. Every photo. Every connection. Compile it all. Make copies. Store them in multiple locations. And Derek, wake up Dorothy. She's been documenting the abuse for months. She has photos. She's been too scared to come forward, but once she knows Nicole is going down, she'll talk. I'm on it. I'll have everything ready in 2 hours. One more thing. The safe house you mentioned last month, the one the FBI uses for witness protection. Can you get us access? Already working on it. Chen owes me a favor. I'll have the address within the hour. Thank you, Derek. For everything. For not looking the other way when you heard something wrong. Zoe's like a niece to me, Marcus. I would die before I let anything happen to her. Marcus hung up. He sat in the darkness for a long moment, letting the reality wash over him. The woman he had loved. The woman he had married. The woman he had trusted with his most precious thing in the world. She was a monster, and she had been feeding on his family for 18 months, but not anymore. Marcus opened his desk drawer, the one he kept locked, the one that held his most precious possessions, Camille's wedding ring, the last photo they took together, a letter she had written him on their 5th anniversary, and something he had forgotten about until this very moment, a small digital voice recorder. Camille had used it for her journalism work. She always said the best stories came from listening, from capturing moments that would otherwise be lost. Marcus pressed the power button. The battery was dead, but there was storage, files that had been sitting untouched for 5 years. He plugged it into his computer. 3 audio files appeared. The first was dated October 15th, 2019, 8 days before Camille died. Marcus pressed play. His wife's voice filled the room. Alive, strong, determined. The voice he had dreamed about every night for 5 years. This is Camille Thompson. It's October 15th, 2019. I'm recording this because I don't know who else to trust. Tears were already streaming down Marcus's face. I've been investigating the woman Marcus is dating. Her name is Vanessa Monroe, but that's not her real name. Her real name is Nicole Strand. And I've discovered something that terrifies me. A pause. The sound of papers rustling. Nicole Strand has been married 3 times before. Each time to a wealthy widower with a young child. Each time the husband died in an accident within 2 years. Each time the child disappeared. Camille's voice trembled. I've contacted the FBI. I'm meeting with Special Agent Robert Martinez next Tuesday. I'm giving him everything I've found. Every document, every photo, every connection. Another pause. But I'm scared, Marcus. I'm scared because I think Nicole knows I'm onto her. Last week my car made a strange noise. I took it to the mechanic. He said the brakes looked fine, but something felt wrong. I don't know if I'm being paranoid or if... Her voice cracked. If something happens to me, Marcus, I need you to know 3 things. Marcus leaned closer to the speaker. First, I love you. I love you more than I have ever loved anything in my life. Every moment with you has been a gift. He was sobbing now. Second, I love Zoe. She is the best thing we ever created together. Protect her, Marcus, no matter what. Protect our baby girl. I will, Marcus whispered to the recording. I will. I promise. Third, the evidence is in my safe deposit box at First National Bank. Box number 7749. The key is hidden in Zoe's baby book. Inside the spine. I taped it there. She took a breath. And Marcus? If you're listening to this, it means something happened to me. It means I couldn't stop her. But you can. You have to. Because if you don't, she will take Zoe. She will take our baby girl. And you will never see her again. The recording ended. Marcus sat in the silence, his wife's voice still echoing in his mind. She had known. She had tried to save them. She had died for it. And he had been so blind, so stupid, so wrapped up in his grief that he had walked right into the trap she had set for him. Not anymore. Marcus grabbed his keys, grabbed his phone, grabbed the voice recorder. It was 4:23 a.m. Less than 3 hours until the car service arrived. Time to move. He made his way through the house silently. Every creak of the floor made him freeze. Every shadow made his heart pound. Past the living room where he had proposed to Vanessa. Past the kitchen where she made his drugged tea every night. Past the dining room where she sat with his family, smiling her perfect smile, playing her perfect role. He climbed the stairs one at a time. His heart was hammering so loudly, he was certain it would wake the entire house. The master bedroom door was closed. Nicole was inside, sleeping peacefully. Or was she? Marcus paused, listened. Silence. He kept moving. Zoe's room was at the end of the hall. The door was slightly open. A pink nightlight cast soft shadows on the walls. Marcus pushed the door open. His daughter was curled on her side, clutching a worn teddy bear named Mr. Honey. The butterfly hair clip was still in her hair. Even in sleep, she hadn't taken it off. She looked so small, so fragile, so much like her mother. And she was covered in bruises. Marcus had to grab the doorframe to keep from falling. He had looked at his daughter every day for 8 months. He had said good morning and good night. He had signed permission slips and written checks and attended exactly 2 school events that didn't conflict with board meetings. But he hadn't seen her. He hadn't noticed the bruises on her arms that she hid under long sleeves. He hadn't noticed the way she flinched when Vanessa touched her. He hadn't noticed the light dying in her eyes day by day, week by week. He had been a ghost in his own home, a wallet with legs, a signature on a check, while his daughter was being beaten and threatened and prepared for sale. Marcus knelt beside her bed, touched her shoulder gently. Butterfly, wake up, sweetheart. Zoe's eyes flew open, instant terror. the look of a trapped animal expecting pain. "It's okay. It's just me. It's Daddy." The terror didn't fully leave her face, but it softened slightly. "Daddy, what's wrong? Is it time for school?" "No, baby. We're going somewhere. Right now. Just you and me." Zoe sat up slowly. Her eyes were huge in the darkness. "Where are we going?" "Somewhere safe. Somewhere Vanessa can never find you. Somewhere she can never hurt you again." Zoe's entire body went still. "You know." 2 words. But they carried the weight of 8 months of silent suffering. 8 months of prayers that went unanswered. 8 months of believing that her father didn't love her enough to see. "I know, baby. I know everything. I heard what she said to you tonight. I heard everything." Zoe's face crumpled. She threw her arms around his neck and sobbed. "I wanted to tell you, Daddy. I wanted to tell you so bad. Every single day I wanted to tell you. But she said you wouldn't believe me. She said you loved her more than me. She said if I told anyone she would send me away to a place where nobody would ever find me." Marcus held her tighter than he had ever held anything in his life. "I believe you. I will always believe you. And I am so sorry, Zoe. I am so sorry I didn't see it sooner. I was working so much. I was so buried in my own grief over losing your mom. I forgot how to be your father. And you needed me. You needed me, and I wasn't there." "But you're here now." Zoe pulled back and looked at him. Camille's eyes. Camille's strength. "You're here now, Daddy. That's what matters." Marcus touched her face gently, wiped her tears. "Get dressed, baby. Quick and quiet. We need to leave before she wakes up." Zoe moved with the efficiency of a child who had learned that hesitation brought punishment. Jeans, t-shirt, the purple sneakers she loved. She grabbed Mr. Honey. "What about Mommy's butterfly?" She touched the clip in her hair. "Keep it on. Always keep it on. It's protecting you more than you know." They crept toward the door. Marcus's hand was on the knob when a sound froze him solid. Footsteps. Coming from the master bedroom. Zoe grabbed his hand. Her grip was crushing. Marcus pressed a finger to his lips, pointed to the closet. They moved silently, slipped inside, closed the door until only a crack remained. Through the crack, Marcus watched. The bedroom door opened. Nicole stepped out. She was wearing a silk robe. Her hair was down. She looked tired, annoyed, beautiful, and in her hand was a phone. "Yes, the car will be there at 7, she said quietly. "Make sure the documents are ready. I want her across the border before noon." Marcus felt Zoe trembling against him. "No, he won't be a problem. The tea I've been giving him tripled the dose tonight. He could sleep through a bomb." She paused, listened. "The money, it's already transferred. 2 million in the Cayman account, another 3 in Switzerland. By the time anyone realizes what happened, I'll be in Montenegro." Another pause. "The other matter, the brake line, Sullivan finished it this afternoon. Tomorrow's commute should take care of things permanently." She laughed softly. "I know, I've done this before. Trust me." She walked past Zoe's room. Didn't even glance inside. Continued down the hall toward the stairs. Marcus waited. Counted to 30. Counted to 60. Then, he opened the closet door. Zoe was crying silently. Her whole body was shaking. "She's going to kill you," Zoe whispered. "She's going to kill you and take me away." "No." Marcus gripped her shoulders, looked into her eyes. "No, she's not. I heard everything. I know her plan. And we're going to stop her. Together." He lifted Zoe into his arms, carried her down the hall, down the stairs. In the kitchen, a figure was waiting. Marcus's heart stopped, then started again when he saw who it was. Dorothy Williams, the housekeeper, the woman who had been with his family for 12 years. "Mr. Thompson?" Her voice was barely a whisper. "I heard you moving. I've been praying for this night. Every single night for 8 months I've been praying." She handed him a small bag. Snacks, water, Zoe's favorite backup teddy bear. "You knew." Dorothy's eyes filled with tears. "I've been documenting everything. Photos, dates, times, every bruise, every mark. I wanted to tell you so bad, Mr. Thompson, but she threatened me. Said she would call immigration on my niece Maya. Said she had connections who could make my whole family disappear." Dorothy. "I was a coward." The tears were flowing freely now. "I watched that precious child suffer because I was scared. I held her when she cried. I bandaged her wounds. I listened to her pray for her daddy to save her. And I said nothing. I did nothing." She fell to her knees. "I will never forgive myself. Never. But whatever you need from me now, I'll give it. I'll testify. I'll show the pictures. I'll tell the world what that monster did. Whatever it takes to put her in prison forever." Marcus helped her up. "You're not a coward, Dorothy. You survived. You protected your family. And you kept evidence that's going to help save my daughter and put Nicole away for the rest of her life. That's not cowardice. That's courage." He hugged her quickly. "Derek is sending a car. Go with him. I'll meet you at the safe house." "What about you?" "I have something I need to do first." Dorothy hugged Zoe, kissed her forehead. "Go with your daddy, baby. This nightmare is almost over. I promise." They moved to the garage. Derek had already been there. Marcus's Mercedes, the one with the cut brake line, was gone. In its place was a plain black Honda. Safe, untampered, anonymous. Marcus buckled Zoe into the back seat. "Daddy, what if she wakes up? What if she follows us?" "She won't. By the time she realizes we're gone, it'll be too late." "Promise." "I promise, Butterfly. I promise on Mommy's memory. I will never let her hurt you again." He started the car, backed out of the garage. The house disappeared behind them. $22 million of glass and chrome. A mansion that had become a prison. A home that had become a torture chamber. Marcus didn't look back. The sun was starting to rise, pink and gold spreading across the Los Angeles sky. A new day beginning. In the back seat, Zoe was already falling asleep, exhausted from terror and relief, but peaceful, for the first time in 8 months, sleeping without fear. Marcus drove in silence for 10 minutes. He was heading toward the safe house when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He glanced at the screen. A text message. "Did you really think I wouldn't know?" His blood turned to ice. Another text. "I've had cameras in your office for months. Marcus, I watched you listen to the recording. I watched you call Derek. I watched you read your dead wife's files." His hands were shaking on the steering wheel. "Cute plan. Really? Get Zoe out of the house. Call the FBI. Expose me to the world. Very heroic." Another text. "But you forgot one thing. I always have contingencies." Marcus's heart was pounding so hard he could hear it. "Check your email. Now." He pulled over, opened his email with trembling fingers. A video. Subject line. "Say goodbye to your best friend." He pressed play. Daniel Ross. His attorney. His college roommate. Best man at both his weddings. Godfather to his daughter. Tied to a chair. Duct tape over his mouth. Eyes wide with terror. Behind him stood a massive man with tattoos covering his arms. A scar ran across his left cheek. He held a gun pressed against Daniel's temple. Nicole's voice came through the video. "Hello, Marcus. Surprised you shouldn't be. Did you really think I'd put all my eggs in one basket?" The man with the gun cocked it. Daniel whimpered. "Here's how this is going to work. Daniel knows everything about my operation. Every name, every account, every contingency. He's been helping me for 2 years. Did you know that your best friend? He set up my offshore accounts. He created the shell companies. He helped me plan your death. Marcus felt sick, but now he's a liability. And if I don't make a phone call by 7:15 a.m., my associate James Sullivan will pull that trigger, and your best friend's brains will decorate his very expensive office. Daniel was crying now, begging through the tape. So here's my offer. You let me walk away, right now. Take Zoe, go home, forget about the FBI, forget about evidence, forget about justice, and I disappear, forever. You never see me again. Zoe is safe, Daniel lives, everyone wins. A pause. Or you try to play hero. Daniel dies. I vanish, and I spend the rest of my life hunting your daughter. I will find her, Marcus, no matter where you hide her, no matter how many years it takes. And when I find her, I will make her last days so painful that she'll beg for death. Another pause. Your choice. You have until 7:15. Clock's ticking. The video ended. Marcus stared at his phone. His hands were trembling. His mind was racing. Daniel, his best friend since college. The man who had stood beside him at his wedding. The man who had held him when Camille died. The man who had helped him rebuild his life. Had been working for Nicole the entire time. No. Focus. Think. It was 5:47 a.m. He had less than 90 minutes until the deadline. In the back seat, Zoe was still sleeping peacefully, trusting him to keep her safe. In a warehouse somewhere, Daniel was tied to a chair with a gun to his head, terrified, waiting to die. And somewhere out there, Nicole was watching, planning, ready to destroy everything. What do I do if he went to the police? Daniel died. If he let Nicole go, she would come back. Eventually, she would find Zoe, and she would do exactly what she promised. There had to be a third option. There had to be a way to save everyone. Marcus called Derek. She knows. She's got Daniel, gun to his head. She says if I don't let her walk, she kills him and spends the rest of her life hunting Zoe. Derek was silent for a moment. Daniel, as in Daniel Ross, your attorney. He's been working with her the whole time. He helped her set everything up. Jesus Christ. I don't have time for that right now. How fast can the police trace a video feed? Depends on the encryption. Could be minutes, could be hours. We don't have hours, we have 87 minutes. Marcus, if you try to play hero and it goes wrong. If I do nothing, Daniel dies and Nicole walks. She'll do this again. To another family. Another child. I can't live with that. What's the play? Marcus took a breath. The plan was crazy, dangerous, probably suicidal, but it was the only option. I'm going to give her what she wants, or make her think I am. I'll meet her face to face. Keep her talking. Buy time for the police to trace the video and find Daniel. She'll never fall for it. She will, because her weakness is her ego. She thinks she's the smartest person in every room. She can't resist proving it. If I challenge her, if I make her think she's winning, she'll get sloppy. You're betting your life on her being arrogant. I'm betting my life on the fact that I've watched her operate for 2 years. I know how she thinks. I know what makes her tick. And right now she's feeling invincible. That's when people make mistakes. Derek was quiet. Where's Zoe right now? Back seat, sleeping. Get her to the safe house first. I'm already here with Chen. We have armed guards, federal protection. Nobody's getting to her. Text me the address. Already sent. Thank you, Derek, for everything. Just don't die, you idiot. Zoe needs her father. Marcus hung up. Checked the address. 20 minutes away. He drove in silence, watching the rearview mirror obsessively, looking for anyone following. Nothing. The safe house was a modest 2-story home in a quiet Santa Monica neighborhood. Nothing flashy. Nothing memorable. Perfect for hiding. Derek was waiting outside. Detective Sarah Chen stood beside him. 3 armed federal agents flanked the entrance. Marcus carried sleeping Zoe from the car. She stirred in his arms. Daddy. We're here, Butterfly. This is the safe place I told you about. Zoe looked around, saw the guards, saw Detective Chen's badge. Are these the people who are going to stop Vanessa? Yes, baby, these are the good guys. Are you staying with me? Marcus felt his heart crack. Not yet. I have to go deal with Vanessa first. Make sure she can never hurt anyone again. By yourself. Not by myself. Derek will be helping. And Detective Chen. And a lot of other people. Zoe gripped his collar. You'll come back, right? Promise you'll come back. I promise, Butterfly. I promise on everything I am. She touched the butterfly clip in her hair. Mommy's with you. She'll keep you safe. Just like you're keeping me safe. Marcus kissed her forehead. I love you more than everything, Zoe. More than my company. More than my money. More than my own life. You are the best thing I ever did. And I will spend the rest of my life making up for the time I wasted. I love you too, Daddy. Go stop the monster. He handed her to Derek. Protect her with your life. With everything I have. Marcus looked at Detective Chen. Your people are tracing the video feed. Already on it. We've narrowed it to a 3-block radius in the warehouse district near the port. SWAT is mobilizing. How long until you find him? 20 minutes, maybe less. I'll buy you that time. Marcus, if you go in there alone, I'm not alone. He tapped his phone. You'll hear everything. I'll keep her talking. The moment you have Daniel's location, you give me a signal, then SWAT goes in. Chen studied him for a long moment. You're either the bravest man I've ever met or the stupidest. Probably both. He got back in the car. It was 6:23 a.m., 52 minutes until the deadline. Time to end this. His phone buzzed. Text from Nicole. Griffith Park, The Fountain. You know the one. 7:00 a.m. Come alone. If I see cops, if I see anyone, Daniel dies and I disappear. And then I start hunting. Marcus typed back. I'll be there. Then he drove toward the place where he had proposed to her. The place where she had cried and said yes. The place where she thought she had won. The place where he was going to destroy her. The park was nearly empty at 6:51 a.m. A few joggers, a man walking his dog. The fountain stood silent, water not yet running. Marcus parked, got out, walked toward the fountain. Detective Chen's voice crackled in his earpiece. We're in position. Unmarked cars on all exits. Plainclothes officers on the perimeter. SWAT has eyes on 5 warehouses in the target zone. We're narrowing it down. How long? 15 minutes, maybe less. Copy. He stopped at the fountain, waited. At exactly 7:00 a.m., a black Mercedes pulled into the parking lot. Nicole stepped out. She wasn't the Vanessa he knew anymore. The designer dresses were gone. The perfect hair, the honeyed smile. This was Nicole Strand, the real person beneath the mask. Jeans, black jacket, hair pulled back in a severe ponytail, and a gun in her hand. She walked toward him slowly, confidently, like a predator approaching wounded prey. Hello, Marcus. Beautiful morning, isn't it? Where's Daniel? Somewhere safe, for now. Let him go. This is between us. Nicole laughed. That cold, hollow sound he had heard in the recording. Oh, Marcus, you still don't understand, do you? It was never between us. You were just a mark. A rich, grieving widower with a convenient daughter. You made it so easy. I know who you are, Nicole. I know what you've done. Robert Chen, Gregory Morrison, Alan Westbrook. I know about all of them. Her smile didn't waver. Then you know what I'm capable of. I also know you're finished. The FBI has your files. The police have your photo. By tomorrow morning, your face will be on every screen in America. And by tomorrow morning, I'll be on a beach in Montenegro. You can't trace accounts you don't know about. You can't find a woman who doesn't exist. Is that what you told yourself when you killed Camille? The smile finally cracked, just slightly. Camille. She was smart. Too smart. She figured out who I was months before you even proposed. She gathered evidence. Contacted the FBI. She was going to ruin everything. So you murdered her. I removed an obstacle. That's all. It wasn't personal. Marcus felt rage building in his chest, but he kept his voice calm. She was my wife. She was Zoe's mother. She was a threat. Threats get eliminated. That's how the world works. Chen's voice crackled in his ear. 8 minutes. We're down to 2 buildings. Keep her talking. Keep her arrogant. What about the children? Marcus asked. Robert Chen's daughter. Alan Westbrook's daughter. Where are they? Nicole tilted her head. Why do you care? Because I want to understand. I want to understand how someone becomes what you are. How very therapeutic of you. She circled him slowly. The children are assets, Marcus. High-value commodities. There are people in this world who will pay millions for healthy, beautiful children. The right buyer, the right price, and everyone's happy. Everyone except the children. Children don't matter. They're products, merchandise. They exist to generate value. Marcus felt sick, but he kept pressing. And Zoe. That was your plan for her too. Zoe was going to be my masterpiece. Nicole's eyes gleamed. Perfect age, perfect looks. Do you know how much a healthy 8-year-old goes for in certain markets? Enough to retire on. Enough to disappear forever. You're a monster. I'm a businesswoman. There's a difference. Chen's voice. 4 minutes. Single building isolated. SWAT moving into position. Almost there. Here's what I don't understand, Marcus said. You could have left months ago. You had money, access. Why stay? Why risk everything? Nicole smiled. A real smile this time, cold and satisfied. Because I enjoy it, Marcus. I enjoy the game. I enjoy watching powerful men crumble. I enjoy taking everything they love and watching them realize too late how blind they were. You should have seen your face in that recording, hearing what I did to your precious daughter, realizing you slept through all of it. That was worth every minute I spent pretending to love you. Chen, Marcus muttered. 2 minutes. SWAT is at the door. You'll never get away, Marcus said louder now. The FBI has everything. Your accounts are frozen. Your contacts are compromised. There's nowhere left to run. Nicole raised the gun. Then I might as well enjoy this moment, shouldn't I? One last victory. Watch the life leave your eyes. Know that your daughter will spend the rest of her life looking over her shoulder. You're not going to shoot me. Really? And why not? Because you want an audience. You always have. That's why you stayed so long. That's why you're here now. You don't just want to win. You want people to see you win. And if you kill me here alone with no witnesses, what's the point? Nicole's finger tightened on the trigger. Chen's voice. SWAT is in. Daniel is secure. Repeat. Daniel is secure. Marcus smiled. Actually, Nicole, you do have an audience. Her eyes narrowed. What are you talking about? Every word you just said was transmitted live to the FBI, the LAPD, and 3 news organizations. There are cameras in those trees, microphones in the fountain, 20 armed officers surrounding this park. Nicole's face went pale. You're bluffing. Am I? Check your left. Blue jogger. She's a federal agent. Check your right. Man with the dog. Undercover SWAT. Check behind you. That maintenance truck. 6 officers with assault rifles. Nicole's head whipped around. Saw them now. The noose tightening. And Daniel, Marcus continued. Your hostage SWAT breached the warehouse 60 seconds ago. He's alive. Your man Sullivan is in custody. Your contingency failed. Nicole's hand was shaking now, the gun wavering. It doesn't matter. I'll kill you. Right here. Right now. Then I'll disappear. I've done it before. No, you won't. Marcus took a step toward her. Because for the first time in your miserable life, you've run out of options. No money, no contacts, no escape, just you and your choices, and the whole world watching. Stay back. Put the gun down, Nicole. It's over. It's not over until I say it's over. She aimed at his chest. Nicole Strand, this is the FBI. A voice boomed through a megaphone. You are surrounded. Put down your weapon and lie face down on the ground. This is your only warning. Nicole looked around wildly. Agents emerging from cover, guns drawn, nowhere to run. Her face twisted with rage. This isn't finished, Marcus. Even if I go to prison, even if I rot in a cell for the rest of my life, there are others. Others who know about Zoe. Others who will come for her. You haven't won. You've only delayed the inevitable. She dropped the gun, fell to her knees. Agents swarmed. Handcuffs snapped closed. Nicole was dragged to her feet. As they led her past Marcus, she stopped, looked at him one last time. Camille figured it out, you know. At the end, when she realized her brakes weren't working, she knew. She knew I was going to take everything from her. And the last thing she ever saw was my face in her rearview mirror, smiling. Marcus didn't flinch. And the last thing you'll ever see is a prison cell. For the rest of your life. No audience, no game. Just you. Alone. Forever. Nicole was dragged away. Detective Chen approached. It's done. Daniel's at the hospital. Minor injuries. He's already cooperating. Nicole's going away for a very long time. Marcus nodded, but he wasn't listening. He was already walking back to his car, back to the safe house, back to his daughter. It was 7:34 a.m. The sun was fully up now, warm and golden, and somewhere in Santa Monica, an 8-year-old girl with a butterfly clip in her hair was waiting for her father to come home. Marcus drove faster than he should have. His heart was pounding. His hands were steady for the first time in hours. He pulled up to the safe house, jumped out, ran inside. Zoe was sitting on the couch. Mr. Honey clutched to her chest, the butterfly clip catching the morning light. When she saw him, her face exploded into the brightest smile he had ever seen. "Daddy!" She ran to him, threw herself into his arms. Marcus held her so tight he was afraid he might break her. "Is it over?" She whispered against his shoulder. "Is the monster gone?" "She's gone, Butterfly. Forever. She's never going to hurt you again. She's never going to hurt anyone again." Zoe pulled back, looked at him with Camille's eyes. "I knew you'd come back. I told Mr. Honey you'd come back. I said, my daddy is a hero. He's going to stop the monster and come back." Marcus was crying now. He didn't care. "I'm not a hero, baby. I'm just your father, and I'm never leaving you again." They held each other as the sun climbed higher, as the world kept turning, as the nightmare finally ended. Derek appeared in the doorway. "Marcus, you should turn on the news." Marcus carried Zoe to the living room. Dorothy was there clutching a tissue. Detective Chen was on her phone. Armed guards still at every entrance. On the television, Nicole's face filled the screen. Breaking news this morning. Nicole Strand, also known as Vanessa Monroe, has been arrested on multiple charges, including murder, kidnapping, child trafficking, and attempted murder. The FBI has announced this is part of a larger investigation into an international trafficking ring. Dorothy was crying. "Thank God! Thank God!" Detective Chen hung up her phone. "That's just the beginning. Based on Nicole's records and Sullivan's testimony, we've identified 6 other children. All still alive. All being recovered as we speak." Marcus felt something release in his chest. A weight he hadn't known he was carrying. All of them. All of them. Including Robert Chen's daughter. She was in a trafficking operation in Eastern Europe. She's on a plane home right now. Zoe tugged on his shirt. "Daddy, what are they saying?" Marcus knelt down to her level. "They're saying that because you were brave enough to wear Mommy's butterfly clip, a lot of other children are going to be saved. Children who were hurt by the same bad people. Children who are going to go home to their families because of you. Zoe's eyes went wide. Really, because of me? Because of you, Butterfly. You're a hero. Zoe shook her head. No, you're the hero, Daddy. You woke up. Marcus hugged her again. I should have woken up sooner. I should have seen what was happening. I should have... But you woke up. Zoe touched his face. That's what Mommy always said. She said it's not about when you wake up. It's about what you do after. And you saved me, Daddy. You saved me. Marcus looked at his daughter. This tiny, brave, beautiful person who had survived 8 months of hell and still believed in him. Camille's daughter. His daughter. The best thing he had ever done. I love you, Butterfly. More than the whole world. I love you too, Daddy. More than the whole universe. Outside, the sun kept rising. Inside, a family began to heal. But in the back of a police cruiser speeding toward federal lockup, Nicole Strand sat in silence. Her face was calm. Her eyes were cold. And on her lips was the ghost of a smile. Because Marcus Thompson thought he had won. He thought the nightmare was over. He thought his daughter was finally safe. But he had no idea that Nicole Strand never worked alone. That the organization she served was bigger than anyone imagined. That there were people already moving into position. People who knew exactly where Zoe was. People who didn't forgive, who didn't forget, who didn't stop. And in exactly 36 hours, Marcus Thompson would learn a terrible truth. The monster he caught was just the beginning. 36 hours after Nicole Strand's arrest, Marcus Thompson received the phone call that changed everything. He was sitting in the safe house kitchen, watching Zoe eat breakfast for the first time without flinching at every sound. Dorothy had made her favorite pancakes, shaped like butterflies. Detective Chen had gone home to sleep. Derek was in the living room coordinating with the FBI. The butterfly clip sat on the table next to Zoe's plate. She hadn't taken it off since they arrived, but this morning she had finally felt safe enough to remove it while she ate. Progress. Small, precious progress. Marcus's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He almost ignored it. Then something made him answer. Mr. Thompson. A male voice. Calm, professional, terrifyingly familiar. We need to talk about your daughter. Marcus's blood turned to ice. Who is this? Someone who knows things. Things the FBI doesn't know. Things that will keep Zoe alive. Marcus stood up slowly, walked out of the kitchen, away from Zoe's ears. I'm listening. Nicole Strand was a contractor, one of many. The organization she worked for has been operating for 23 years, 47 countries, thousands of children. What organization? They call themselves the Collective, and right now 3 of their operatives are within 2 miles of your safe house. Marcus looked out the window. The quiet Santa Monica street looked normal, peaceful, safe. You're lying. Blue Honda Civic parked on Maple Street, white van with gardening equipment on Ocean Avenue, gray sedan with tinted windows in the grocery store parking lot. Should I continue? Marcus's throat closed. What do they want? Zoe. She was promised to a buyer 6 months ago. Payment was already received. The Collective doesn't issue refunds. Then I'll keep her hidden, forever if I have to. The man laughed softly. Mr. Thompson, you can't hide from the Collective. They found Robert Chen's daughter in a monastery in Thailand. They found Alan Westbrook in federal witness protection. They found a senator's son in a CIA black site. You're a businessman. You have no idea what you're up against. Then what do you suggest? Silence for a moment. Meet me. Alone. 1 hour. I'll give you everything you need to bring the Collective down. Why would you help me? Because Nicole Strand killed my daughter, and I've been waiting 12 years for a chance to destroy them. The line went dead. Marcus stared at his phone. His hands were shaking. He walked back to the kitchen. Zoe was finishing her pancakes. Smiling at something Dorothy said, "Safe." She looked safe, but she wasn't. She never had been. "Dorothy." Marcus kept his voice calm. "I need to go out for a few hours. Stay with Zoe. Don't let anyone in. Anyone." Dorothy looked at him sharply. "What's wrong?" "Nothing, just being careful." Zoe looked up. "Daddy, you're coming back, right?" "I'm coming back, Butterfly. I promise." He kissed her forehead, grabbed his keys, walked out to the car. Derek caught him at the door. "Where are you going?" "I got a call. Someone with information about the collective." Derek's face went pale. "The what?" "The organization Nicole worked for. They're still watching Zoe. 3 operatives within 2 miles of this house." "Marcus, that sounds like a trap." "Probably, but if there's even a chance he's telling the truth, I have to know." "Then I'm coming with you." "No, stay with Zoe. If something happens to me, you're all she has left." Derek grabbed his arm. "This is insane. Let the FBI handle it." "The FBI doesn't know about the collective. They think Nicole was a lone operator. If I tell them, if they start investigating openly, the collective will know, and they'll take Zoe before anyone can stop them." "Then what's your plan?" "Find out who these people are, find out how to stop them, and make sure Zoe is safe. Permanently." Derek stared at him for a long moment. 1 hour. "If I don't hear from you, I'm calling Chen, and we're coming after you." "Fair enough." Marcus got in the car, drove to the address the caller had given him. A coffee shop in Venice Beach, public, crowded, safe enough. He walked inside, scanned the room. A man in his 60s sat alone at a corner table. Gray hair, weathered face, eyes that had seen too much. He raised his coffee cup in greeting. Marcus sat across from him. "Mr. Thompson, thank you for coming." "Who are you?" "My name is William Chen. Robert Chen was my brother." Marcus felt the ground shift. The tech executive who died in Seattle. Who was murdered in Seattle. By Nicole Strand, along with my niece Emma. They found Emma. She's on a plane home right now. William's face cracked. Tears filled his eyes. "I know. I received the call this morning. 12 years. 12 years she was in that hell. And now she's coming home." He wiped his eyes. "But that's not why I called you, Mr. Thompson. I called because the collective is already moving, and your daughter doesn't have 12 years. Tell me everything." William leaned forward. "The collective was founded in 2001 by a man named Viktor Kozlov, Russian oligarch, made his fortune in human trafficking after the Soviet collapse. By 2010, the collective had operations on every continent. By 2015, they were generating $2 billion annually." "How does Nicole fit in?" "Nicole was what they call a harvester. Her job was to identify targets, wealthy families with vulnerable children. She would infiltrate, isolate the child, eliminate the parents, then deliver the child to the collective for processing. Processing, assignment. The children are sorted based on buyer preferences, age, gender, appearance, health. Then they're shipped to the highest bidder." Marcus felt sick. "And the buyers? Wealthy individuals, criminal organizations, sometimes governments. The collective doesn't ask questions. They just deliver." "How do I stop them?" William reached into his jacket, pulled out a flash drive. 20 years of records, names, dates, account numbers, buyer information, everything the FBI needs to bring the collective down. Marcus took the drive. "Where did you get this?" "I spent 12 years infiltrating the collective, getting close to their leadership, building trust, waiting for the right moment." "Why didn't you go to the FBI yourself?" "Because the collective has people inside the FBI, inside the CIA, inside Interpol. Any investigation would be compromised before it started." "Then how do I know I can trust you?" William smiled sadly. You can't. But ask yourself this. If I wanted your daughter, I would have taken her already. I know where the safe house is. I know the guard rotations. I know Derek left his gun in his laptop bag 3 feet from the kitchen door. Marcus went cold. I'm not your enemy, Mr. Thompson. I'm the only ally you have. Marcus stared at the drive. What am I supposed to do with this? There's a woman. FBI Assistant Director Helen Price. She's clean. I've been watching her for 8 years. She's the only one at the federal level who isn't compromised. Get this to her. Only her. And tell her to move fast. Why fast? Because in 48 hours the collective is holding a closed auction. 18 children, including one slot that was reserved for your daughter. They're still planning to take her. They've already sent a recovery team, 3 operatives. They're waiting for the right moment. Marcus stood up so fast his chair fell backward. I have to get back. Wait. William grabbed his arm. There's something else. Something you need to know about Nicole. What? She's not talking. The FBI has interrogated her for 24 hours. She hasn't said a word. Not one word. So, Nicole Strand has never been caught before. Never been in custody. She's arrogant. She loves to talk. The fact that she's silent means something. What? William's eyes went dark. It means she's waiting. For someone. Or something. Marcus felt cold sweat running down his spine. Get to the safe house, Mr. Thompson. Get to your daughter. And don't let her out of your sight. Marcus ran. He drove faster than he ever had in his life. Ran every red light. Ignored every speed limit. His phone rang. Derek. Marcus, we have a problem. What kind of problem? The guards outside. 2 of them went to check the perimeter 10 minutes ago. They haven't come back. Marcus pressed the accelerator to the floor. Lock the doors. Get Zoe to the panic room. Now. There is no panic room. Then get her to the basement. Barricade the door. I'm 5 minutes away. Marcus, what's happening? They're coming. The collective. They're coming for Zoe. He heard Derek curse, heard footsteps, heard Dorothy's voice asking what was wrong. Then he heard something else. Glass breaking. Derek. Derek. Scuffling, shouting. A gunshot. Then Zoe screaming. Daddy, Daddy, help me. The line went dead. Marcus slammed his fist against the steering wheel. Tears were streaming down his face. No, no, no! He was 2 minutes away. 2 minutes that felt like 2 hours. He called Detective Chen. Chen, they're at the safe house. They're taking Zoe. I need backup now. Marcus, slow down. Who's at the safe house? The collective. The organization Nicole worked for. They sent a team. Derek just called. I heard gunshots. I heard Zoe screaming. I'm dispatching units now. ETA 8 minutes. That's too long. Marcus, do not go in alone. These are professionals. You'll get yourself killed. He hung up. 90 seconds. He pulled onto the street. The safe house looked normal from the outside. Quiet. Peaceful. The front door was open. Marcus parked. Ran inside. The living room was destroyed. Furniture overturned. Bullet holes in the walls. Blood on the carpet. Derek, Zoe. He ran to the kitchen. Dorothy was on the floor. Eyes closed. Blood pooling from a wound on her head. Dorothy. He checked her pulse. Alive. Barely. He ran upstairs. Checked every room. Empty. All empty. He ran back down. Into the basement. Derek was slumped against the wall. Gunshot wound in his shoulder. Eyes barely open. Marcus. Derek. Where's Zoe? Where did they take her? Van? White van? Gardening equipment? Which way did they go? North, toward the freeway. Marcus grabbed Derek's phone, called 911, gave them the address. Ambulance is coming. Hold on. Marcus. Derek grabbed his shirt with his good hand. I tried to stop them. I tried. I know. You did everything you could. They knew everything. The layout, the guard schedule. Everything. It's like they had eyes inside the house. Marcus remembered William Chen's words. They have people inside the FBI, inside the CIA. Someone had told the collective exactly where to find Zoe, exactly when to strike. Someone was still watching. Marcus ran back to his car, started driving north. He didn't know where he was going, didn't have a plan, just drove. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. "Mr. Thompson?" The same calm professional voice from before. Not William Chen, someone else. "You're driving the wrong direction. Where is my daughter?" "Safe. For now. Whether she stays that way depends on you." "What do you want?" "The flash drive William Chen gave you. Bring it to the pier at Marina del Rey, 1 hour, alone. And if I give you the drive, you get your daughter back, alive and unharmed." "How do I know you won't kill her anyway?" "You don't, but you don't have a choice, do you?" 1 hour, Mr. Thompson. Don't be late." The line went dead. Marcus pulled over. His hands were shaking so badly he couldn't hold the wheel. The flash drive was in his pocket. 20 years of evidence. Names. Accounts. Everything needed to bring the collective down. If he gave it to them, they would destroy it. The collective would continue. More children would suffer. More families would be destroyed. But if he didn't, they would kill Zoe. His phone rang again. This time he recognized the number. Detective Chen. "Marcus, where are you?" "They have Zoe. They're demanding the flash drive I got from William Chen." "What flash drive? Who's William Chen?" "Long story. I don't have time. They want me at Marina del Rey in 1 hour." "Don't go. That's exactly what they want." "I don't have a choice." "Marcus, listen to me. We picked up one of the operatives, the one who was in the gray sedan. He's talking." "What's he saying?" "The exchange is a trap. They're going to kill you and Zoe regardless of what you give them. That's their protocol. No witnesses." "Then what am I supposed to do?" "Let us handle it. We're tracking the van. Satellite surveillance. They're heading toward the port. Long Beach. Probably planning to load Zoe onto a ship." "How long until you intercept them?" 45 minutes. "That's too long." "Marcus, if you show up at that pier, you're dead. And so is Zoe. Let us do our job." Marcus closed his eyes. 45 minutes. His daughter in the hands of monsters. Every second feeling like an eternity. "Stay on the line. Tell me everything you find." "I will. Just don't do anything stupid." Marcus drove toward Long Beach, toward the port, toward his daughter. He wasn't going to wait 45 minutes. He wasn't going to let anyone else save her. This time, he was going to be there. The port was a maze of shipping containers and cargo cranes. Thousands of places to hide. Thousands of ways to disappear. Marcus had been driving for 32 minutes when Chen called again. "We found the van. Container Yard 7. They're transferring Zoe to a cargo ship called the Aurora Borealis, registered in Panama. Leaves in 28 minutes. I'm 12 minutes away." "Marcus, SWAT is coming from the north. Coast Guard is blocking the harbor exit. We've got this." "I'm not waiting." "Marcus." He hung up. 12 minutes later, he arrived at Container Yard 7. The white van was there. Doors open. Empty. The Aurora Borealis loomed ahead. A massive cargo ship. Cranes loading containers. Workers moving across the deck. And somewhere inside his daughter. Marcus ran toward the ship. Dodged workers. Jumped over equipment. A voice shouted behind him. "Hey! You can't be here!" He kept running. The gangplank was unguarded. He sprinted up it. Onto the deck. The ship was enormous. Hundreds of containers stacked like building blocks. A labyrinth of steel. "Zoe!" His voice echoed. No response. He ran toward the cargo hold. The main entrance was locked. He found a side door. Forced it open. Descended into darkness. Emergency lights cast red shadows. The air smelled of rust and salt. Zoe. Footsteps. Behind him. Marcus spun around. 2 men, big, armed, moving toward him. He ran, down a corridor, through a door, into a storage area filled with crates. He ducked behind a stack, held his breath. The men's footsteps grew louder, closer. He went this way. Find him. The ship leaves in 20 minutes. We can't have loose ends. Marcus looked around frantically. A fire extinguisher on the wall. He grabbed it, waited. The first man came around the corner. Marcus swung. The extinguisher connected with the man's skull. He dropped like a stone. The second man raised his gun. Marcus threw the extinguisher. It hit the man's arm. The gun went flying. Marcus charged, tackled him. They went down hard. The man was stronger, trained. He flipped Marcus onto his back, hands around his throat. Marcus couldn't breathe. The world was going dark. His hand found something on the ground. The dropped gun. He grabbed it, pressed it against the man's chest, pulled the trigger. The man's eyes went wide. He slumped forward. Dead weight. Marcus pushed the body off, gasped for air. He'd never killed anyone before. His hands were covered in blood. He was shaking uncontrollably. But his daughter was somewhere on this ship. He picked up the gun, kept moving. 3 more corridors, 2 more locked doors. Then he heard it, crying, soft, terrified. Zoe. He followed the sound. Down a narrow passage, to a heavy metal door, locked. He shot the lock, once, twice, 3 times. The door swung open. Zoe was inside, tied to a chair, blindfolded, gagged. And standing behind her, gun pressed to her head, was a woman Marcus had never seen before. Tall, blonde, cold eyes. The same dead expression Nicole had. Drop the gun, Mr. Thompson, or your daughter dies right now. Marcus froze. I said drop it. He let the gun fall to the floor. Kick it toward me. He kicked it. It slid across the metal floor. The woman smiled. You're very predictable, Mr. Thompson. Nicole said you would come. She said you couldn't help yourself. Let my daughter go. I'm afraid that's not possible. She's worth $2 million. The buyer is already waiting in Dubai. I'll give you anything. Money, information, whatever you want. What I want is already tied to this chair. The woman pressed the gun harder against Zoe's temple. Now where's the flash drive? Marcus reached into his pocket, pulled out the drive. Give it to me, slowly. He walked toward her. 1 step, 2 steps. That's close enough. Toss it. He threw the drive. She caught it one-handed. Very good. Now. An explosion rocked the ship. The woman stumbled. Her gun moved away from Zoe's head. Marcus lunged. He tackled her. They crashed into the wall. The gun went off. Bullet ricocheting off metal. They fought for the weapon, rolling across the floor, neither letting go. Another explosion. Closer this time. The woman's elbow caught Marcus's jaw. Stars exploded in his vision. She pointed the gun at his face. Goodbye, Mr. Thompson. A gunshot, but not from her weapon. The woman's eyes went wide. She looked down at her chest, at the red stain spreading across her shirt. She fell. Behind her stood William Chen, smoking gun in his hand. I told you I wasn't your enemy, Mr. Thompson. Marcus scrambled to his feet, ran to Zoe. He ripped off her blindfold, untied her gag, cut the ropes from her wrists. Daddy! She threw her arms around him, sobbing. I'm here, Butterfly. I'm here. It's over. I was so scared. They put me in the van and I couldn't see, and I couldn't scream, and I know, baby, I know, but you're safe now. You're safe. William approached. We need to move. This ship is being boarded by Coast Guard, but the collective has people everywhere. We're not safe until we're off this vessel. Marcus lifted Zoe into his arms. The flash drive. She took it. William bent down, searched the woman's body, pulled out the drive. Got it. They ran, through corridors, upstairs, toward the deck. Coast Guard officers were everywhere, weapons drawn, shouting commands. "Freeze FBI hands where we can see them." William raised his hands slowly. Marcus shifted Zoe behind him. "Don't shoot. I'm Marcus Thompson. My daughter was kidnapped. This man saved our lives." Detective Chen emerged from the crowd of officers. "Stand down. Stand down." The weapons lowered. Chen ran toward them. "Marcus, are you hurt?" "I'm fine. Zoe's fine. We need medical attention for—" "Already on it. Paramedics are boarding now." Chen looked at William. "Who's this?" "William Chen, Robert Chen's brother. He gave me evidence on the collective. 20 years of records." William handed Chen the flash drive. "Everything you need is on here, but be careful who you trust. The collective has people inside every agency, including yours." Chen took the drive. Her face was grim. "I know. We've already identified 2 compromised agents. They're in custody." More officers boarded the ship. Paramedics rushed past with stretchers. Marcus held Zoe close. She was still trembling, still crying. "Is it over? Daddy? Is it really over this time?" Marcus looked at Chen, at William, at the chaos surrounding them. "I don't know, Butterfly, but I promise you this: I will never stop fighting. I will never stop protecting you, no matter what it takes." Zoe buried her face in his shoulder. "I believe you, Daddy." They were escorted off the ship, into a waiting ambulance. Paramedics checked Zoe for injuries, minor bruises, no lasting physical damage. The psychological damage would take longer to assess. At the hospital, Marcus sat beside Zoe's bed. She had finally fallen asleep. Exhausted, traumatized, but alive. Dorothy was in surgery. The doctors said she would survive. Derek was 2 floors up stable, asking about Zoe every 5 minutes. William Chen sat in the corner, silent, watching. "Why did you save us?" Marcus asked. "I told you, Nicole killed my niece." "Emma's alive. She's coming home." "Emma spent 12 years in a trafficking network. She's alive. But the girl who was taken, she died a long time ago." Marcus understood. "What happens now?" "Now the FBI has everything they need to dismantle the collective. It won't happen overnight. These things never do. But it will happen. And Nicole Strand will spend the rest of her life in federal prison, multiple life sentences, no possibility of parole." "She was waiting for something. In her cell. You said she was silent." William nodded slowly. "She was waiting for the ship, for confirmation that Zoe was delivered. When that didn't happen, when she found out her people failed, what? She tried to kill herself 2 hours ago. They stopped her." Marcus felt nothing. No satisfaction. No pity. Just emptiness. "Good. Let her rot." Chen walked in. "Marcus, there's something you should see." She turned on the television. A press conference. FBI director standing at a podium. Cameras flashing. "Today we announce the largest takedown of an international trafficking organization in history. Thanks to evidence provided by private citizens and the tireless work of our agents, we have arrested 47 individuals connected to an organization known as the Collective." The screen showed photos, faces, names. Viktor Kozlov, arrested in Moscow. James Sullivan, already in custody. Dr. Patterson, arrested at his home. And Nicole Strand. Mugshot on every screen. We estimate the collective was responsible for trafficking over 3,000 children across 47 countries over a 23-year period. This is a dark day for humanity. But it is also a day of justice. Chen turned off the television. "It's really over now." Marcus looked at Zoe, sleeping peacefully for the first time in days. "No, it's not over. It's just beginning." "What do you mean?" "The collective is destroyed, but the buyers are still out there. The children who were taken, some of them are still missing. The families who lost them, they're still waiting." He stood up. "I have money, resources, connections. I built $1 billion company from nothing. Now I'm going to use everything I have to find those children. Every single one. And bring them home." Chen stared at him. That's a massive undertaking." "I know, but I have help." He looked at William Chen. 12 years you spent infiltrating the collective. 12 years of contacts, information, knowledge. Will you help me?" William stood. "I've been waiting 12 years for someone to ask that question." They shook hands. Outside the hospital window, the sun was setting, orange and gold painting the sky. Inside, Zoe stirred, opened her eyes. "Daddy?" Marcus sat beside her, took her hand. "I'm here, Butterfly. I had a dream about Mommy." "What did she say?" "She said you're a hero. She said she's proud of you." Marcus felt tears on his cheeks. "I'm not a hero, baby. I'm just your father." "That's the same thing." Zoe squeezed his hand. "Mommy said one more thing." "What?" "She said, the fight isn't over, but we're going to win, because we have love, and love always wins." Marcus leaned down, kissed her forehead. Mommy was right. Love always wins. And somewhere in a federal detention center, 300 miles away, Nicole Strand sat in a padded cell. Straitjacket. Sedated, monitored around the clock. But her eyes were open, and on her lips was a smile, because Marcus Thompson thought he had won. He thought the collective was destroyed. He thought his daughter was finally safe. But the collective was just one head of the Hydra, and the other heads were already watching, already planning, already moving. The message had been sent at 6:47 p.m. Encrypted, untraceable. Thompson interfered. Kozlov arrested. Collective compromised. Activate contingency Omega. And in 7 different countries, 7 different phones received the same response. Confirmed. Target acquired. Awaiting instructions. The war had just begun. 3 weeks after the Aurora Borealis raid, Marcus Thompson believed the nightmare was finally over. He was wrong. The first sign came at 7:23 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. Zoe was eating breakfast at their new home in Malibu. A fortress disguised as a beach house. Armed guards at every entrance. Surveillance cameras covering every angle. A panic room in the basement. Dorothy had recovered fully. She insisted on returning to work despite Marcus offering her early retirement with full benefits. Derek's shoulder was still in a sling, but he showed up every morning with coffee and security updates. They had built a new normal, a careful, guarded normal. Then Marcus's phone buzzed with an encrypted message. Contingency Omega activated. Your daughter has 72 hours. He dropped his coffee cup. It shattered on the floor. Zoe looked up from her pancakes. Daddy, what's wrong? Nothing, Butterfly, just clumsy. He walked to his office, closed the door, called William Chen. I got a message. Something called Contingency Omega, 72 hours. William was silent for a long moment. Where are you right now? Home, Malibu. Get out. Now. Take Zoe. Don't tell anyone where you're going. William, what is Contingency Omega? It's their last resort. When the collective is compromised, when leadership is arrested, they activate Omega. It's a scorched earth protocol. What does that mean? It means they're coming for everyone who helped bring them down. Every witness, every informant, every family member. They're going to kill everyone, Marcus. And then they're going to disappear. Marcus felt his blood turn to ice. How do I stop them? You can't. Omega is run by a separate cell, completely independent from the main organization. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are. All I know is that once it's activated, nothing stops it. There has to be something. There is one person, Viktor Kozlov's daughter. Natasha. She designed Omega. She's the only one who can call it off. Where is she? Nobody knows. She disappeared 5 years ago. Some say she's dead. Others say she's hiding. Either way, finding her in 72 hours is impossible. Marcus gripped the phone so hard it creaked. Nothing is impossible. Send me everything you have on Natasha Kozlov. Marcus, this is suicide. It's my daughter. Send the files. He hung up, walked back to the kitchen. Zoe, we need to go. She looked up, saw his face, understood immediately. The bad people are coming again, aren't they? Yes, baby, but I'm going to stop them, I promise. Dorothy appeared in the doorway. Mr. Thompson. Pack a bag. 5 minutes, we're leaving. Where are we going? Somewhere safe. Derek, is the helicopter ready? Derek was already on his phone. Pilots on standby. We can be airborne in 10 minutes. Make it 5. They moved fast, bags packed, security protocols activated. The house locked down behind them. The helicopter lifted off at 7:41 a.m. Marcus watched the Malibu coastline shrink below them. Somewhere down there in the shadows, people were planning to kill his daughter. Not again. Never again. His phone buzzed. William's files on Natasha Kozlov. He started reading. Natasha Kozlov. Born 1989. Moscow. Only child of Viktor Kozlov. Educated at Oxford. PhD in computer science from MIT. Recruited by the collective at age 22. She had designed their entire digital infrastructure, encryption, communications, financial networks. Everything ran through systems she created. And 5 years ago, she had vanished. No death certificate, no body, just gone. The last confirmed sighting was in Berlin, then nothing. Marcus called Detective Chen. Chen, I need everything you have on Natasha Kozlov. Bah. Viktor's daughter. She's a ghost. We've been looking for her since the takedown. No trace. There has to be something. Credit cards, bank accounts, aliases. Marcus. The collective has been searching for her for 5 years. If they couldn't find her, what makes you think we can? Because she wants to be found. What? She designed Omega. Then she disappeared right before her father was arrested. She knew this was coming. She was preparing. Preparing for what? To end it. Think about it. She's the only one who can call off Omega. Why design a protocol you can't control unless you wanted leverage? Chen was quiet. That's actually a good theory. I need to find her, fast, 72 hours. I'll reach out to Interpol, CIA, everyone we have. There's no time. I need something now. Marcus, I don't have wait. Hold on. Silence. Then Chen's voice urgent. I just got an alert. Someone accessed Nicole Strand's prison records 5 minutes ago, using her daughter's credentials. Nicole doesn't have a daughter. Exactly. The access came from a coffee shop in San Francisco. We have the IP address. Send it to me. Marcus, this could be a trap. I don't care. Send it. The helicopter changed course. San Francisco, 90 minutes away. Marcus looked at Zoe. She was sleeping exhausted from the sudden move. Dorothy held her hand. Keep her safe, Marcus said. No matter what happens. Where are you going? To find someone who can stop all of this. The helicopter landed at a private airfield outside San Francisco at 9:15 a.m. A car was waiting. Marcus drove alone to the coffee shop. It was small, crowded with morning commuters. He scanned the room. A woman sat alone in the corner. Dark hair, sharp features, mid-30s. Laptop open in front of her. She looked up, met his eyes, didn't seem surprised. Marcus walked over, sat down across from her. Natasha Kozlov. Marcus Thompson. Her accent was faint. Zles. Russian mixed with British. You're faster than I expected. You left a trail. You wanted to be found. I wanted to see who was smart enough to follow it. Congratulations. Call off Omega. Natasha laughed. Just like that. No negotiation, no leverage. My daughter has 69 hours. I don't have time for games. Your daughter. Natasha closed her laptop. Little Zoe. I've read her file. Remarkable child. Survived 8 months with Nicole. Most children break after 2. Marcus felt rage building. Don't talk about my daughter. I'm not your enemy, Mr. Thompson. I'm the only person who can help you. Then help me. It's not that simple. Natasha leaned back. Omega isn't just a protocol. It's a network. 7 cells, 7 countries, each operating independently. Even I can't just push a button and make it stop. Then what can you do? I can give you the locations, the names, the targets, but you'll have to take down each cell yourself. In 69 hours. In 67 hours now. She smiled. Time is ticking, Mr. Thompson. Why are you helping me? Natasha's smile faded. My father built the collective. He turned human beings into products, children into merchandise. For 23 years I helped him. I designed the systems that made it possible. Her voice cracked. Then I met someone, a woman named Maria. She was working undercover for Interpol. She was investigating the collective. She didn't know who I was. She just loved me. Tears formed in her eyes. When my father found out he had her killed, right in front of me, to teach me a lesson about loyalty. Marcus said nothing. That's when I started planning. Omega, the cells, the contingencies. I designed it all. But I also designed a back door, a way to bring it all down. Why didn't you use it? Because I needed proof. I needed the entire leadership arrested. I needed the world to know what the collective really was, and I needed someone willing to finish what I started. She looked at him. You, Mr. Thompson. You're that person. How do I know I can trust you? You don't, but you don't have a choice. In 66 hours and 47 minutes, 7 teams will move on 7 targets. Your daughter, William Chen, Detective Chen, Derek Mitchell, Dorothy Williams, and 42 other witnesses. Marcus felt cold. You're on the list too. I'm at the top. Natasha stood. Come with me. We have work to do. They drove to a warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Inside was a command center. Computers, monitors, maps on every wall. This is where I've been working for the past 5 years, Natasha said. Tracking the collective, building the case, waiting for the right moment. You could have gone to the FBI. The FBI is compromised. The CIA is compromised. Interpol is compromised. Every agency has at least one collective operative. I tried going to them 3 years ago. My contact was dead within a week. Then how do we stop Omega? Natasha pulled up a map on the main screen. 7 red dots. 7 countries. Each cell operates independently. They don't know each other. They only know their target. To stop Omega, we need to take down all 7 cells simultaneously. How? Each cell has a controller. Kill the controller. The cell goes dark. The operatives will scatter without orders. Kill. This isn't a game, Mr. Thompson. These people won't surrender. They won't negotiate. They'll fight to the death because they know what happens if they're captured. Marcus stared at the map. 7 dots. 7 countries. 66 hours. I can't be in 7 places at once. You don't have to be. I have contacts. Former collective operatives who want out. They've been waiting for this moment. How many? 12. Enough for 6 cells. The 7th you'll have to handle personally. Which one? Natasha zoomed in on one of the dots. Los Angeles. The controller for the LA cell is someone you know. Who? Daniel Ross. Marcus felt like he'd been punched. Daniel is in the hospital. He was shot during the rescue. He was shot by his own people. to maintain his cover. Daniel Ross has been with the collective for 15 years. He's the reason they always knew where you were, the reason the safe house was compromised, the reason Nicole had access to everything. That's impossible. Daniel is my best friend. He's Zoe's godfather. He's also the man who gave Nicole the information she needed to kill your wife. The world tilted. Marcus grabbed the edge of a desk, tried to breathe. No, Daniel wouldn't, he couldn't. There's more. Natasha's voice was gentle. Daniel is also Contingency Omega's primary coordinator in North America. Every kill order goes through him, including the one on your daughter. Marcus couldn't speak, couldn't think. Daniel, his college roommate, his best man, his friend for 20 years. The man who had held him when Camille died. The man who had helped him plan the funeral. The man who had been there through everything. A traitor, a murderer, a monster. I have proof. Natasha handed him a tablet. Communications, financial records, kill orders. Daniel Ross has been responsible for the deaths of at least 12 witnesses over the past decade. Marcus looked at the screen. Daniel's name. Daniel's signature. Daniel's orders. Authorized termination. Camille Thompson. Method brake failure. He dropped the tablet. Daniel killed Camille. Nicole was the weapon. Daniel was the one who pulled the trigger. Marcus felt something break inside him, something that could never be repaired. Where is he now? Still in the hospital, but not for long. He's scheduled to be released tomorrow morning. After that, he disappears. He's not going anywhere. Mr. Thompson, I understand your anger, but we need Daniel alive. He's the only one who can access the other controllers. Without him, we can't stop all 7 cells. Then I'll make him talk. It won't be that simple. Daniel has a dead man's switch. If he dies, if he goes dark for more than 12 hours, the other cells get automatic orders to proceed. We need him cooperative. How do you suggest I get my best friend who murdered my wife to cooperate? Natasha was quiet for a moment. By giving him something he wants more than loyalty to the collective. What could he possibly want? His daughter. Marcus looked up sharply. Daniel has a daughter. He had a daughter, Lily. She was taken by the collective when she was 6. As insurance. Daniel has been doing their bidding ever since, hoping to see her again. Where is Lily now? One of the cells has her. Singapore. If we take that cell first, we get Lily. Then we offer Daniel a trade. His daughter for the access codes. Marcus processed this. You've thought of everything. I've had 5 years to plan. Natasha checked her watch. 65 hours. We need to move. The next 12 hours were a blur of planning, coordination, and preparation. Natasha's contacts checked in one by one. Former collective operatives. Men and women who had spent years serving an organization they had grown to hate. All willing to risk their lives for a chance at redemption. The first team deployed at 4:00 p.m. Singapore. Target the cell holding Daniel's daughter Lily. The second team deployed at 5:30 p.m. Berlin. Target the cell responsible for European operations. The third team deployed at 6:45 p.m. Moscow. Target what remained of Viktor Kozlov's inner circle. Updates came in steadily. Singapore controller eliminated. 12 operatives neutralized. Lily Ross recovered. Alive. Marcus felt a wave of relief he didn't expect. A child he'd never met, but still a child. Still innocent. Berlin controller eliminated. Cell dismantled. 8 operatives in custody. Moscow. Heavy resistance. 2 casualties on our side, but cell eliminated. By midnight, 4 cells were down. 3 remained. Tokyo. 63 hours remaining. Team en route. Sao Paulo. 62 hours. Team en route. And Los Angeles. Daniel Ross. That one was Marcus's. At 2:00 a.m., Marcus arrived at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. Daniel's room was on the 4th floor. 2 guards outside, both collective operatives posing as private security. Marcus approached. One of the guards stood. "Sir, this area is restricted." "I know. I'm Marcus Thompson. I'm here to see Daniel." The guards exchanged looks. "Mr. Thompson, visiting hours are over. I'm not leaving until I talk to him." The second guard reached for something under his jacket. "I wouldn't do that." Marcus's voice was calm. "There are 12 FBI agents in this hospital right now. You're surrounded. Detective Chen is watching everything through that security camera above your head. If either of you reaches for a weapon, you'll be dead before your hand clears your holster." The guards froze. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to walk away. You're going to leave this hospital. And you're going to tell whoever's still alive in the collective that Marcus Thompson is coming for every single one of them." The guards looked at each other again. Then they walked away. Marcus pushed open the door to Daniel's room. Daniel was sitting up in bed, IV in his arm, bandage on his shoulder. He looked tired, older than Marcus remembered. "Marcus." He tried to smile. "I didn't expect—" "Don't." Daniel's smile faded. "You know." "I know everything. Nicole, Camille, the collective, all of it." Daniel closed his eyes. "Marcus, I can explain." "Explain what? That you murdered my wife, that you helped Nicole torture my daughter, that you've been lying to me for 20 years. It wasn't supposed to be like this." "Then what was it supposed to be like, Daniel? Tell me. Make me understand how my best friend became the person who destroyed my family." Daniel was quiet for a long moment. "Lily. Your daughter." Daniel's eyes snapped open. "You know about Lily." "I know everything. I know the collective took her 15 years ago. I know you've been their puppet ever since. I know you would do anything to see her again." Tears formed in Daniel's eyes. "You don't understand, Marcus. They showed me videos, every year on her birthday. Just enough to prove she was alive. Just enough to keep me obedient. I would have done anything. Anything. Including kill Camille. I didn't know." Daniel's voice cracked. "I swear to God I didn't know what they were planning. They told me to pass information. They told me to set up accounts. They never told me they were going to—" "But you found out. After. And you said nothing." Daniel looked away. "By then it was too late. If I talked, they would have killed Lily. And they would have killed me. And then they would have come for you and Zoe anyway. So you stayed silent. You watched me grieve. You held me at the funeral. You looked me in the eye and said nothing." "I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't bring Camille back. Sorry doesn't erase 8 months of Zoe's suffering. I know. I know nothing can make this right. But please, Marcus, if there's any part of you that still remembers who I used to be, before the collective, before all of this, please." Marcus stared at his former friend. This man he had loved like a brother. This man who had destroyed everything. "I have Lily." Daniel's face went white. "What?" "We raided the Singapore cell 3 hours ago. Lily is alive. She's safe. She's asking for her father." Daniel was shaking now, sobbing. "You have Lily. She's okay. Where is she? Can I see her?" "That depends on you." Daniel looked up, desperate, hopeful, terrified. "I'll do anything. Anything. Just let me see my daughter. The access codes. All 7 cells. I need them now. If I give you those codes, they'll kill me. If you don't give me those codes, 42 people die, including my daughter, and then you'll never see Lily again." Daniel closed his eyes. A long moment passed. Then he spoke. 7 strings of numbers and letters. Coordinates. Passwords. Kill codes. Marcus wrote them down. Called Natasha. "I have everything. Execute now." Copy. Tokyo and Sao Paulo teams moving in. Marcus hung up. You'll keep your promise. Daniel's voice was small, broken. You'll let me see Lily. When this is over. When every cell is down. When my daughter is safe. And then what, prison? That's not my decision to make. But I'll tell them you cooperated. I'll tell them you helped save 42 lives. Daniel nodded slowly. For what it's worth, Marcus. I'm sorry. I know it means nothing. But I'm sorry for everything. Marcus turned to leave. One more thing. Daniel looked up. Camille. In her last moments. When she realized the brakes weren't working. Did she know it was you? Daniel's face crumbled. Yes. She called me. As the car was going off the road. She knew. She said to tell you she loved you. And to take care of Zoe. Marcus felt tears on his cheeks. You kept that from me for 5 years. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't. Goodbye, Daniel. He walked out, didn't look back. The next 6 hours were a countdown. Tokyo cell eliminated at 3:47 a.m. Sao Paulo cell eliminated at 4:12 a.m. All 7 cells down, all controllers neutralized. Contingency Omega cancelled. At 6:00 a.m., Marcus received a call from Detective Chen. It's over. Every cell, every operative, either dead or in custody. The collective is finished. And the witnesses. All safe, including your daughter. We're bringing her home now. Marcus collapsed into a chair. Over. It was finally over. At 8:00 a.m., the helicopter landed at the Malibu house. Zoe ran across the lawn and jumped into his arms. Daddy! He held her so tight he thought his heart would burst. It's over, Butterfly. It's really over this time. I promise. You stopped them all. Every single one. Are we safe now? Yes, baby. We're safe. Forever. Dorothy and Derek approached, both crying, both smiling. It's a miracle, Dorothy said. An absolute miracle. Derek clapped Marcus on the shoulder. You did it, man. I can't believe you actually did it. Marcus looked at his family. His strange, beautiful, broken family. They had survived. But at 10:00 a.m., as Marcus was finally allowing himself to rest, his phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. A video. He pressed play. Nicole Strand. In her padded cell, looking directly at the camera. Hello, Marcus. If you're watching this, it means you think you've won. You think the collective is destroyed. You think your daughter is safe. She smiled. You're wrong. The collective was never the real threat. We were just the first layer. The visible layer. The layer designed to be found. Marcus's blood ran cold. There's another organization, Marcus. Older. More powerful. We work for them. Everyone works for them. And they've been watching you since the day Camille died. Nicole leaned closer to the camera. They know everything about Zoe. Her school, her friends, her fears. They've been studying her for years, preparing her. And when the time is right, they'll take her. Not for money, not for buyers, for something much, much worse. She laughed. You can't fight them, Marcus. You can't hide from them. They're everywhere. In your company, in the FBI, in your own house. Enjoy your victory. Enjoy your peace, because it won't last. They're coming, Marcus, and this time, nothing will stop them. The video ended. Marcus stared at his phone. His hands were shaking. Another organization. Older. More powerful. They've been watching since the day Camille died. They've been studying Zoe for years. The door opened behind him. Daddy! Zoe walked in, rubbing her eyes. Who were you talking to? Marcus forced a smile. Hid the phone behind his back. No one, Butterfly. Just work stuff. Can we have pancakes for lunch? Of course. Whatever you want. Zoe smiled and wandered back to the kitchen. Marcus looked at the phone, at the frozen image of Nicole's smiling face. She was right. This wasn't over. It wasn't even close to over. But as he watched his daughter disappear around the corner, Marcus made a decision. He had fought the collective and won. He had faced contingency Omega and survived. Whatever this new threat was, whatever organization was lurking in the shadows, he would fight them too. He would protect Zoe, no matter what it took, no matter how long it lasted, no matter what he had to become, because that's what fathers do. They fight. They protect. They never ever give up. And Marcus Thompson was just getting started. He picked up his phone, called William Chen. "William, we have a problem. A big one." "I know. I just received the same video." "What do we do?" "We regroup. We gather intelligence. We prepare." "For what?" William's voice was grim. "For war." 2 months after Nicole Strand's warning, Marcus Thompson finally understood what he was up against. The organization had no name, no public face, no digital footprint. In intelligence circles they called it the Shadow Council, a cabal of the world's most powerful families, billionaires, politicians, royalty, men and women who controlled governments' markets and destinies from behind impenetrable walls of secrecy. William Chen had spent those 2 months reaching out to every contact he had, former collective operatives, intelligence assets, journalists who had gotten too close and barely survived. The picture that emerged was terrifying. The Shadow Council had existed for over a century. They had funded both sides of world wars. They had orchestrated economic collapses. They had placed presidents in power and removed them when convenient. And for reasons Marcus couldn't understand, they wanted his daughter. At 6:47 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, William Chen called with news that changed everything. "I found someone who can help us. A former council operative. She's willing to talk." Marcus was already reaching for his keys. "Where?" "New York. She's hiding in plain sight, working as a financial analyst at a hedge fund. Name is Elena Vasquez." "When can we meet?" "She's scared, Marcus. It took me weeks to convince her to even consider talking. One wrong move and she disappears." "I'll be careful." "There's something else. She says the council has been watching Zoe since before she was born, since before you even met Camille." Marcus felt his blood freeze. "What does that mean?" "I don't know, but Elena says Camille knew. She says Camille was part of something that got her killed." Marcus couldn't speak. "Marcus, are you there?" "I'm here. Send me the address." The flight to New York took 5 hours. Marcus spent every minute reviewing the files William had compiled on the Shadow Council. 12 core families, combined net worth of over $2 trillion. Connections to every major government, every major corporation, every major intelligence agency in the world. And somewhere in that web of power and secrecy, the truth about why they wanted Zoe. Elena Vasquez worked on the 47th floor of a glass tower in Manhattan. Marcus arrived at 3:15 p.m. He was expected. A security guard escorted him to a private conference room. Elena was waiting. She was younger than he expected. Mid-30s, sharp features, eyes that darted constantly toward the door. "Mr. Thompson, please sit." He sat across from her. "Thank you for meeting me." "Thank William. He saved my life 3 years ago. I owe him." "What can you tell me about the Shadow Council?" Elena laughed bitterly. "What can't I tell you? I worked for them for 8 years. I know their secrets, their methods, their obsessions." "Their obsessions." "The Council isn't just about money or power, Mr. Thompson. They're about legacy, about bloodlines, about ensuring their families control the world for another 100 years. What does that have to do with my daughter?" Elena was quiet for a moment. "What do you know about your wife's family history?" "Camille. She was an only child. Parents died when she was young. She grew up in foster care." "That's the story she told you. It's not the truth." Marcus felt the ground shifting. What are you talking about? Camille wasn't an orphan, Mr. Thompson. She was hidden, protected, kept off the grid for her entire childhood. Protected from what? From the council, from her own family. Elena pulled out a tablet, showed him a photograph, an old portrait, black and white, a family of 4, father, mother, 2 daughters. Do you recognize anyone in this photo? Marcus studied the image. The older daughter looked familiar. Something about her eyes. That can't be. That's Camille's mother, Margaret Blackwood, and the man next to her is Richard Blackwood, one of the 12 founding families of the Shadow Council. Marcus couldn't breathe. Camille was council bloodline. Pure bloodline, direct descendant of one of the original families, and so is Zoe. The room was spinning. Why didn't Camille tell me? She didn't know. Not until a few years before she died. Her mother hid her to protect her from the council's practices. Practices? Elena's face went dark. The council believes in selective breeding, Mr. Thompson. They arrange marriages, control births, all to produce children with specific traits. What kind of traits? Intelligence, leadership ability, ruthlessness. They've been doing it for generations, and the results are remarkable. Council children score in the top 0.1% of every metric. They become CEOs, presidents, generals. And they wanted Camille for this? Camille escaped. Her mother got her out when she was 3, changed her name, her identity, everything. The council searched for her for 20 years, and they finally found her. When? 3 months before you proposed. Marcus felt sick. They knew about us. Our whole relationship. They facilitated it, Mr. Thompson. You were chosen for Camille. Your genetics, your intelligence, your wealth. You were the perfect match to produce the child they wanted. Zoe. Zoe. She's the culmination of 4 generations of selective breeding. A genetic masterpiece. And the council wants her back. Marcus stood up so fast his chair fell over. They can't have her. I'll die before I let them touch her. That's exactly what they're counting on. Elena stood too. Walked to the window. The council doesn't take children by force, Mr. Thompson. They're too sophisticated for that. They manipulate. They isolate. They create circumstances where the child comes to them willingly. Zoe would never. Not now. But in 5 years, 10 years. When she's a teenager struggling to fit in. When she's an adult, wondering why she's different from everyone else. The council is patient. They can wait. Then what do I do? Elena turned to face him. You have 2 options. Run and hide for the rest of your lives. Change your identities. Disappear completely. Even then, they'll probably find you eventually. And the second option, burn them down. Expose them. Destroy them before they can destroy you. How? There's a gathering. Once a year, the 12 families meet in person. It's the only time they're all in one place. The only time they're vulnerable. When? 3 weeks. A private island in the Caribbean. St. Helena's Cay. Officially, it doesn't exist on any map. And you can get me in. I can get you the location, the security protocols, the layout, but actually getting inside, that's up to you. What's the catch? Elena smiled sadly. If you go, you won't come back. The island has one way in and one way out, and the council doesn't take prisoners. Marcus thought about Zoe, about her smile, her laugh, the way she said daddy when she needed him. I'll find a way. There might be one option. Elena hesitated. But you're not going to like it. Tell me. Nicole Strand. Marcus felt rage flooding through him. No. She's the only person alive who's been inside the gathering. She knows the security, the routines, the weak points. She murdered my wife. She tortured my daughter. And she's serving life in a federal supermax. She has nothing left to lose, nothing to gain by lying. I won't make a deal with that monster. Then you'll never get off that island alive, and the council will take Zoe anyway. Marcus stared at Elena. Why are you helping me? What do you want? I want the council to burn. I spent 8 years watching them destroy families, watching them treat human beings like breeding stock. I have nightmares every night about the things I saw. Tears formed in her eyes. I have a daughter too, Mr. Thompson. She's 12. I left the council to protect her. If they ever find out what I'm doing now, they'll take her, and I'll never see her again. Then why take the risk? Because some things are worth dying for, and stopping the council is one of them. Marcus returned to Los Angeles at 11:47 p.m. William Chen was waiting at the airport. How did it go? I know why they want Zoe. I know about Camille's family. I know about the breeding program. William nodded slowly. I suspected as much, but I needed you to hear it yourself. You knew? I started figuring it out 6 months ago, when I was researching the collective's connections. The breadcrumbs led to the council, and the council led to the Blackwood family. Why didn't you tell me? Would you have believed me? A dead wife who was actually a council princess? A daughter designed in a genetic laboratory? It sounds like a conspiracy theory. It sounds like my life. They walked to the car in silence. There's a gathering in 3 weeks, Marcus said. All 12 families. One island. I know. I've been trying to find that location for 5 years. Elena gave it to me. St. Helena's Cay. William stopped walking. She gave you the location of the annual gathering. She wants the council destroyed as much as we do. Marcus, this could be a trap. It could be, but it's also our only chance. One island, 12 families, the most powerful people in the world. And you want to walk in there alone. Not alone. I'm going to need help. What kind of help? Marcus looked at him. The kind that involves making a deal with Nicole Strand. The federal supermax was in Colorado. Maximum security. 23 hours a day in solitary confinement. The kind of place where people went to be forgotten. Marcus arrived at 8:00 a.m. the next morning. Detective Chen had pulled strings to get him visitation rights. The warden wasn't happy about it, but a call from the FBI director had changed his mind. They put him in a room with reinforced glass. Steel furniture bolted to the floor. Cameras in every corner. Nicole was brought in at 8:23 a.m. She looked different. Thinner. Paler. Her eyes had lost some of their predatory gleam, but her smile was the same. Cold. Calculating. Marcus Thompson. What a pleasant surprise. I need information. Of course you do. Everyone needs something. She sat down across from him. The question is, what are you willing to give? What do you want? Out of this cell would be nice. A beach somewhere. Cocktails at sunset. Not going to happen. Then I guess we're done here. She started to stand. I'll get your sentence reduced. Nicole paused, sat back down. To what? 25 years instead of life. Possibility of parole after 15. That's still a very long time, Marcus. It's better than dying in here. Nicole studied him. What do you need? St. Helena's Cay. The annual gathering. You've been inside. Nicole's eyes flickered. Who told you about that? It doesn't matter. I need to know the security, the layout, the vulnerabilities. Why? That's none of your concern. Nicole laughed. You're going to try to take down the council. By yourself. That's adorable. Can you help me or not? I can give you everything you need, but my price just went up. What do you want? Out, not reduced sentence. Out, full release. New identity. Witness protection. You murdered people. You trafficked children. I was a soldier, following orders. The people who gave those orders are still walking free, sitting on that island, deciding which children get sold next. You enjoyed it. I heard the recordings. You loved hurting Zoe. Nicole's face didn't change. I was good at my job. That doesn't mean I liked it. I don't believe you. I don't care what you believe. But here's the truth, Marcus. I was 16 when the council recruited me. They took me from a foster home in Romania, trained me, conditioned me, turned me into what I am. That doesn't excuse. I'm not asking for excuses. I'm explaining. The council creates monsters, Marcus. They don't find them. They create them. I'm their product, just like Zoe will be if you don't stop them. Marcus stared at her. You're saying you want to help bring down the council? I'm saying I want to survive. And the only way I survive is if the council burns. They don't forgive failure, Marcus. The moment I stopped being useful, I became a target. Right now there are 3 operatives in this prison with orders to kill me. They're just waiting for the right moment. You're scared. I'm realistic. The council is coming for me. They're coming for you. They're coming for Zoe. The only question is whether we die separately or fight together. Marcus thought about it. Every instinct told him to walk away, to let Nicole rot in her cell forever. But she was right. He needed her. If I get you out, you help me destroy the council. Every piece of information you have, every weakness, every secret. Agreed. And if you betray me, if you try to hurt Zoe, if you even look at her wrong, I will kill you myself. Nicole smiled. I wouldn't expect anything less. The next 2 weeks were chaos. Marcus pulled every favor he had, the FBI director, the Attorney General, even the White House. Nicole Strand's release required presidential approval, and getting it required Marcus to call in debts he'd been saving for decades. At 9:00 p.m. on a Thursday night, 2 days before the gathering, Nicole walked out of the federal supermax a free woman. William Chen was waiting with a car. I don't like this, he said as Nicole climbed in. Neither do I, Marcus replied. But we don't have a choice. They drove to a safe house outside Denver. Inside, a team was waiting. 12 people total, former military, intelligence operatives, people who knew how to get in and out of impossible places. Nicole walked to the whiteboard at the front of the room, started drawing. St. Helena's Cay, approximately 3 square miles, 1 dock, 1 helipad, 1 main residence. Security consists of approximately 40 trained operatives. Cameras, motion sensors, and thermal imaging cover every inch of the island. How do we get in? One of the operatives asked. We don't. Not through normal means. The dock is monitored 24/7. The helipad requires biometric authentication. Any unauthorized approach triggers a lockdown. Then what's the plan? Nicole smiled. We go in the same way the council's guests arrive, as invited guests. How do we get invitations? We don't need invitations, we need identities. She pulled up photos on the screen. These are the Harrington family, one of the 12 core families. Harold Harrington, his wife Victoria, and their 2 children. They're scheduled to arrive at the island 2 days from now. You want us to replace them? The Harringtons are currently on a yacht in the Mediterranean. They won't be arriving at the island. They'll be arriving at a hospital in Monaco. Marcus looked at her sharply. What did you do? Nothing permanent. A little something in their champagne. They'll sleep for about 72 hours. By the time they wake up, this will all be over. You drugged them. Would you prefer they die on the island with everyone else? Marcus didn't answer. The Harringtons travel with a staff of 6. Driver, security, personal assistants. We replace them all. We arrive at the island as scheduled. We attend the opening ceremony, and then we burn it all down. How? The island's power grid is controlled from a central location beneath the main residence. Every camera, every alarm, every security system runs through that hub. Take out the hub, and the island goes dark. And then we have approximately 15 minutes before backup generators kick in. 15 minutes to get to the council chamber. 15 minutes to record everything they say and do. 15 minutes to broadcast it to the world. You want to expose them. I want to destroy them. The council has survived for 100 years because no one knows they exist. The moment the world sees who they are, what they do, they lose everything. Their money, their power, their immunity. They'll have security, guards. 40 guards, against 12 of us, in the dark, with no communications. Nicole looked around the room. I've seen what you people can do. 40 guards is nothing. One of the operatives raised his hand. What about the families themselves? The council members, non-combatants. We avoid them if possible. But if they get in the way, we don't kill civilians, Marcus said firmly. These aren't civilians, Marcus. These are the people who ordered your wife's death. The people who planned to sell your daughter. They're not innocent. We gather evidence. We expose them. We let the courts handle justice. The courts? Nicole laughed. Half the federal judges in America are council assets. You put these people on trial and they'll walk. They always walk. Then we'll find another way. Nicole stared at him. You're serious. Deadly serious. No unnecessary killing. We get in, we get the evidence, we get out. And if someone has to die, then we make that choice in the moment. But we don't go in planning to massacre people. Nicole shook her head. You're either incredibly noble or incredibly naive. Maybe both. But that's the deal. Take it or leave it. Nicole was quiet for a long moment. Fine. We do it your way. But when it goes wrong, and it will go wrong, don't blame me. The team spent the next 48 hours preparing. At 4:00 a.m. on Saturday morning, they boarded a private jet at a small airfield outside Denver. Destination, St. Helena's Cay. Marcus sat alone in the back of the plane, staring out the window at the darkness below. His phone buzzed. A video call. Zoe. He answered. Daddy? Where are you? She was in her bedroom at the Malibu house. Dorothy was visible in the background. I'm on a business trip, Butterfly. I'll be home soon. How soon? A couple of days. I miss you. I miss you too, baby. So much. Daddy, are you going to fight more bad people? Marcus felt his heart crack. What makes you ask that? You have your fighting face on. The same face you had before you saved me from the ship. Marcus couldn't lie to her. Yes, Butterfly. There are some bad people I need to stop. But when I'm done, we'll be safe. Really safe. Forever. Promise. I promise. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Butterfly. More than everything. He ended the call, stared at the blank screen. William Chen sat down beside him. She's a remarkable child. She's everything. That's why we're doing this. All of it. For her. What if we fail? Then we fail. But at least we tried. At least we fought. Marcus looked out the window. Camille would have been proud, knowing I finally woke up, finally became the father Zoe deserved. You were always a good father, Marcus. You just forgot for a while. I didn't forget. I chose to be absent. That's worse. Maybe. But you're here now. That's what matters. The plane began its descent at 6:47 a.m. Below St. Helena's Cay emerged from the morning mist. A small island, green and beautiful. And somewhere on that island, the 12 most powerful families in the world were gathering to decide the fate of humanity. Marcus Thompson was coming for all of them. The Harrington yacht docked at precisely 8:00 a.m. Marcus walked down the gangplank first wearing Harold Harrington's face, a prosthetic mask so realistic it had fooled everyone on the yacht. Behind him, Nicole played Victoria Harrington. She was disturbingly good at it. The other team members followed as staff, carrying luggage, playing their roles perfectly. A council representative met them at the dock. Mr. Harrington, welcome back to St. Helena's Cay. Thank you, Charles. It's good to be here. The gathering begins at noon. Your usual suite has been prepared. Excellent. We'll freshen up and see everyone at the ceremony. They were escorted to the main residence, a massive structure of marble and glass. Inside, Marcus counted security cameras, guards, patrol routes. Nicole had been right. 40 guards, maybe more. Their suite was on the third floor, luxurious, private. The moment the door closed, the team went to work. We have 4 hours before the ceremony, Nicole said. That's when all 12 families will be in the main chamber. That's our window. What about the power hub? Basement level. 2 guards, electronic lock, I can handle it. And the broadcast equipment. Already in place. Williams' people hacked the island's satellite uplink last night. The moment we have footage, it goes global. Marcus checked his weapon. Everyone knows their positions. Nods around the room. Then let's end this. At 11:47 a.m., Marcus made his way to the main chamber. The room was already filling with people. Elegant, refined, the cream of global society. And every single one of them was a monster. He spotted faces he recognized from Elena's files. The Rothschild family. The Delacroix family. The Yamaguchi family. Names that controlled banks, governments, and corporations. A woman approached him. "Harold, how wonderful to see you." Marcus recognized her from the files. Margaret Delacroix, matriarch of the French banking dynasty. "Margaret, you look lovely as always." "Such a charmer. Tell me, how is Victoria feeling?" "I heard she was unwell last month." "Much better, thank you. The Mediterranean air did wonders." "Excellent. We have much to discuss during the proceedings." She glided away. Marcus checked his watch. 11:52 a.m. 8 minutes until the ceremony. His earpiece crackled. "Power hub secured," Nicole's voice whispered. "Charges in place. Ready on your signal." "Copy. Hold position." Marcus moved through the crowd, counting heads, 12 families, approximately 60 core members, plus staff and security. At exactly noon, a bell chimed. The crowd moved toward the central platform. A man in his 70s stepped up to the podium. White hair, commanding presence. Marcus recognized him from the files. Alexander Rothschild, chairman of the Shadow Council. "My friends," Rothschild began, "welcome to our annual gathering. It has been a challenging year, the loss of the collective, the exposure of several of our operations, but we endure, as we always have, as we always will." Applause rippled through the room. "Today we discuss the future, the next generation of leaders, the children who will carry our legacy into the next century." A screen lowered behind him. Photos appeared. Marcus's blood ran cold. Zoe's face was on the screen. This is Zoe Thompson, descendant of the Blackwood line, the purest genetic specimen we have produced in 3 generations. She is currently under surveillance in Los Angeles. Marcus fought to control his rage. As you know, her mother was the lost Blackwood heir. Her father is a first-generation self-made billionaire with exceptional cognitive abilities. The combination has produced remarkable results. Another slide. Charts, graphs, genetic analysis. Zoe Thompson scores in the 99.99th percentile across all metrics. Intelligence, physical coordination, emotional resilience. She is in every measurable way perfect. Rothschild smiled. The council has voted unanimously. Zoe Thompson will be acquired within the next 6 months. She will be brought into the program, and she will produce the next generation of council leadership. Marcus's hand moved toward his weapon. William's voice in his ear stopped him. "Not yet. We need the full confession. Keep recording." Marcus forced his hand back to his side. Rothschild continued. "Some of you have asked about the father, Marcus Thompson. He has proven troublesome. The destruction of the collective, the elimination of contingency Omega. He has resources, connections, determination." He paused. "He is also on this island, right now, in this room." Marcus felt his heart stop. Rothschild looked directly at him. "Did you really think we wouldn't know Mr. Thompson? Did you think your little disguise would fool us? Guards moved in from all directions, weapons drawn. Marcus reached for his earpiece. Now! Do it now! The lights went out. Chaos erupted. Gunfire in the darkness, screaming, bodies hitting the floor. Marcus moved on instinct, dropped 2 guards before they could get their bearings. More shots. The team engaging security. A hand grabbed his arm. Nicole's voice. This way. The broadcast room. They ran. Down a corridor, up a staircase, past fallen guards. The broadcast room was ahead. 2 guards at the door. Nicole fired twice. They dropped. Inside, the equipment was already running. We're live. William's voice said in his ear. Global broadcast. 200 million viewers and counting. Marcus grabbed the microphone. My name is Marcus Thompson. What you're about to see is evidence of a conspiracy that has controlled the world for over a century. He played the recording. Rothschild's speech. The genetic program. The children. Everything. These people have been breeding human beings like cattle, selling children like merchandise, controlling governments and corporations for their own benefit. He looked directly at the camera. Today it ends. All of it. Behind him, the sounds of fighting continued. But it was already over. The truth was out. The Shadow Council was exposed. And somewhere in Los Angeles, Zoe Thompson watched her father on television and understood finally why he had been fighting so hard. For her. For all the children. For everyone who had ever been a victim of the monsters in the shadows. The war wasn't over, but the first battle had been won. The broadcast had been live for exactly 17 minutes when the first helicopter appeared on the horizon. Marcus was still in the broadcast room watching the chaos unfold on multiple screens. The footage was everywhere now. Every major network. Every social media platform. 200 million viewers had become 500 million, and the number was still climbing. William's voice crackled through the earpiece. Marcus, we have incoming. Military choppers. At least 6 of them. Who's military? Unknown. Could be US. Could be private council forces. Either way, we need to move. Marcus grabbed the hard drive containing all the evidence. Backup copies were already uploaded to secure servers around the world, but he wasn't taking any chances. Where's Nicole? Holding the south entrance. She's taken down 8 guards. She's effective. Get everyone to the extraction point. I'll meet you there. Marcus, wait. There's something else. What? Rothschild. He escaped the chamber during the blackout. He's heading for the helipad. Marcus felt rage surge through him. The man who had ordered Camille's death. The man who wanted to turn Zoe into breeding stock. He was trying to run. I'll handle Rothschild. Get the team out. Marcus, we don't have time for revenge. This isn't revenge. If Rothschild escapes, he rebuilds. He comes back. I can't let that happen. Silence on the line. You have 12 minutes before those choppers are in range. Don't be late. Marcus ran. The helipad was on the east side of the island, 300 meters through hostile territory. Guards everywhere. Alarms screaming. He moved fast, dropping guards as they appeared, not stopping, not hesitating. 8 months ago, he had been a man who sat in meetings and reviewed spreadsheets, a man who hired people to solve problems, a man who had forgotten how to fight. Now he was something else entirely. He reached the helipad at 12:23 p.m. A helicopter was already spinning up. Rothschild was climbing aboard, 2 guards flanking him. Marcus raised his weapon. Rothschild. The old man turned. His eyes widened. Mr. Thompson, you're too late. Step away from the helicopter. Rothschild laughed. Or what, you'll shoot me in front of the whole world. He gestured toward the sky. Those cameras are still rolling. Everything you do is being broadcast. Are you prepared to become a murderer in front of 500 million people? Marcus kept his weapon raised. You ordered my wife's death. I ordered the elimination of a threat. Your wife was going to expose us. She had to be dealt with. She was Zoe's mother. She was a Blackwood. She was ours to dispose of. Marcus's finger tightened on the trigger. Daddy, don't. The voice came from his earpiece, but it wasn't William. It wasn't Nicole. It was Zoe. Daddy, I can see you. On the TV. Everyone can see you. Please don't shoot him. Zoe. How are you? Derek patched me through. Daddy, listen to me. If you shoot him, you become like them. You become a bad guy. And I don't want my daddy to be a bad guy. Marcus's hand was shaking. He killed your mother, Butterfly. I know, and I hate him. I hate him so much. But Mommy wouldn't want this. Mommy would want you to come home. To be my daddy, not a killer. Tears were streaming down Marcus's face. Zoe, please, Daddy. Please come home. I need you. Marcus lowered his weapon. Rothschild smiled. Smart choice, Mr. Thompson. Your daughter is wise beyond her years. This isn't over. Oh, I think it is. The council has survived worse than this. We'll weather this storm. We always do. He turned toward the helicopter. And Mr. Thompson, Zoe may have saved your soul today, but she won't be able to save herself forever. We're patient. We can wait. The helicopter lifted off. Marcus watched it go. His earpiece crackled. Marcus, extraction point now. He ran. The next 4 minutes were the longest of his life. Guards everywhere, bullets flying, the sound of helicopters getting closer. He reached the extraction point at 12:31 p.m. The team was already boarding a boat hidden in a cove on the north shore. Nicole grabbed his arm. Where's Rothschild? Gone. You let him go. I made a choice. The wrong choice. He'll rebuild. He'll come back. Maybe, but I'll be ready. The boat pulled away from the shore just as the first military helicopter appeared overhead. They watched the island shrink in the distance. Where are we going? Marcus asked. William answered. International waters first, then a rendezvous with a U.S. Navy ship. The broadcast changed everything. The government is scrambling. They want to be on the right side of this. And the council members on the island. Being taken into custody as we speak. 47 arrests so far. More coming. Marcus sat down heavily. It was over. Not completely. Rothschild was still out there. The council would try to rebuild. The fight wasn't finished. But the first battle had been won. And Zoe was safe. That was all that mattered. The Navy ship reached them at 3:47 p.m. Marcus was escorted to a private cabin, given fresh clothes, a hot meal, a satellite phone. He called Zoe immediately. Daddy? Hey, Butterfly, I'm okay. I know, I watched everything. You were so brave. You were braver. What you said to me. That took real courage. I just didn't want you to become like them. You're my daddy. You're supposed to be the good guy. Marcus felt tears on his cheeks again. I'm trying, Butterfly. I'm trying so hard. You're not trying. You are, the best daddy in the whole world. I love you, Zoe. I love you too. When are you coming home? Soon. A couple of days. There are some things I need to do first. More bad guys to stop. Paperwork mostly. Boring stuff. Zoe giggled. That does sound boring. But then I'm coming home. And we're going to take a vacation. Just you and me. Where? Anywhere you want. Can we go to Disneyland? Marcus laughed. We can go to Disneyland. Promise. I promise, Butterfly. Cross my heart. He ended the call. Sat in silence for a long moment. The door opened. Detective Chen walked in. You're a hard man to track down, Marcus Thompson. I've been busy. I noticed. 500 million people watched you single-handedly expose the largest criminal conspiracy in history. I had help. You had Nicole Strand. That's going to be a problem. She earned her freedom. She murdered people, trafficked children. And she helped save thousands more. Sometimes you have to make deals with devils to defeat bigger demons. Chen sat down across from him. The Attorney General wants to talk to you. So does the President. And about 40 different congressional committees. They can wait. Marcus, I just watched the man who murdered my wife fly away in a helicopter. I'm not in the mood for politics. Chen was quiet for a moment. We'll find Rothschild. The whole world is looking for him now. He's had 100 years to prepare for this. He has escape routes we can't even imagine. Then we'll keep looking, however long it takes. Marcus looked at her. Thank you, Chen, for everything. From the beginning. I was just doing my job. You went way beyond your job. You believed me when no one else would. You risked your career, your life. That little girl deserved someone fighting for her. I'm just glad it was her father. The Navy ship docked in San Diego at 11:00 p.m. A helicopter was waiting to take Marcus back to Los Angeles. He arrived at the Malibu house at 12:47 a.m. Zoe was asleep. Dorothy was sitting by her bed. Marcus stood in the doorway for a long moment, just watching his daughter breathe. Dorothy noticed him, smiled. She wouldn't go to sleep until she knew you were safe. Made me promise to wake her when you got here. Let her sleep. She needs it. So do you. Marcus walked to the bed, knelt beside it, kissed Zoe's forehead gently. She stirred, opened her eyes. Daddy. I'm here, Butterfly. She threw her arms around his neck. You came back. You promised, and you came back. I'll always come back, no matter what. They held each other for a long time. Finally, Zoe pulled back, looked at him with her mother's eyes. Is it really over now? Marcus thought about Rothschild, about the council members still at large, about the work that remained. The big fight is over. The bad people who wanted to hurt you. Most of them are going to prison. You're safe now. But there are still some bad guys out there. There will always be some bad guys, Butterfly. That's just how the world works. But you don't have to be scared, because I'm here, and I'm never leaving again. What about your company? What about it? Don't you have to go back to work, sit in meetings and stuff? Marcus smiled. I'm going to make some changes, spend less time in meetings, more time being your daddy. Really? Really? I missed too much already. I'm not missing any more. Zoe hugged him again. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Butterfly. More than everything. He tucked her back in, sat beside her bed until she fell asleep. Then he walked to his own bedroom. Collapsed on the bed. For the first time in months, he slept without nightmares. The next 3 months were a whirlwind. Congressional hearings, media interviews, court appearances. The exposure of the Shadow Council had triggered the largest investigation in FBI history. 53 arrests in the first week. 127 by the end of the month. Bank accounts frozen. Assets seized. Companies dismantled. The 12 families that had controlled the world for a century were being systematically destroyed. But not all of them. Alexander Rothschild remained at large. Despite a global manhunt, despite a $10 million reward, despite the resources of every intelligence agency on the planet, he had vanished. Marcus received updates every day. Sightings that turned out to be false. Leads that went nowhere. The old man had planned his escape well, but Marcus refused to let it consume him. He had made a promise to Zoe, and he was keeping it. They went to Disneyland, twice. They took a trip to Hawaii. They spent lazy Sundays making pancakes and watching movies. Marcus stepped back from daily operations at Thomson Dynamics, appointed a new CEO, focused on the foundation he was building, the Thomson Foundation for Missing Children, dedicated to finding the victims of the council's trafficking operations, funded with $100 million of his personal fortune. In those 3 months they found 47 children, returned them to their families, gave them a chance at a normal life. Derek healed fully, returned to his position as CTO. Never mentioned the bullet wound or the kidnapping. Some things didn't need to be discussed. Dorothy stayed on as housekeeper. Became more like family than staff. Zoe called her Auntie Dorothy now. William Chen continued his work hunting down the remaining council members. They talked every week, compared notes, planned next steps. Nicole Strand disappeared after the island. True to their agreement, Marcus had secured her release. New identity, new life. She sent one message 3 weeks later. "Thank you. I'm going to try to be different. Maybe it's too late, but I'm going to try." Marcus didn't respond. Some wounds never fully healed. At 9:15 a.m. on a Tuesday morning 4 months after the island, Marcus received a call that changed everything. "Mr. Thompson, this is Agent Rodriguez, FBI International. We found him." Marcus felt his heart stop. "Rothschild?" "Yes, sir. He's in Argentina, a compound in Patagonia. We have eyes on him right now." "Are you moving in?" "That's why I'm calling. He's requesting a meeting. With you. Only you." "Why?" "He wouldn't say. But he's made it clear if you don't come he disappears again. We may never find him." Marcus looked out of the window. Zoe was playing in the garden with Dorothy. Laughing, happy, free. "When?" "He wants you there within 48 hours. I'll be there in 24. The flight to Argentina took 16 hours. Marcus spent most of it reviewing files. Rothschild's history, his crimes, the families he had destroyed, and thinking about what he would do when he finally faced the man who had taken so much from him. The compound was in the mountains, remote, heavily fortified, but the FBI had it surrounded. Agent Rodriguez met Marcus at the perimeter. "He's alone in there, as far as we can tell. No guards, no staff." "That doesn't sound like Rothschild." "No, it doesn't. Which is why we're nervous about you going in." "I'll take my chances." "Mr. Thompson, this could be a trap." "It probably is, but if there's even a chance of ending this, I have to take it." Rodriguez handed him an earpiece. "We'll be listening. Any sign of trouble, we come in hard." "Understood." Marcus walked toward the compound. The gate was open. No guards, no defenses. He walked up the long driveway, through the front door, into a grand foyer. Rothschild was waiting in a study at the end of the hall, sitting in a leather chair, looking older than he had on the island. "Mr. Thompson, thank you for coming." "Cut the pleasantries. Why am I here?" Rothschild gestured to a chair across from him. "Please, sit." Marcus remained standing. "You have 5 minutes." Rothschild smiled weakly. "I'm dying, Mr. Thompson. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The doctors give me 6 weeks. Maybe less." Marcus felt nothing. "Forgive me if I don't offer condolences." "I don't want condolences. I want to make a deal." "What kind of deal?" "Information. The location of every remaining council member. Every offshore account. Every hidden asset. Everything you need to finish what you started." "In exchange for what?" Rothschild leaned forward. "In exchange for leaving my family alone." Marcus stared at him. "Your family. My grandchildren. 3 of them. Ages 4, 7, and 9. They had nothing to do with the council's operations. They're innocent. Like the thousands of children your organization trafficked. I'm not asking for forgiveness, Mr. Thompson. I'm asking for mercy, for children who don't deserve to pay for my sins." Marcus was quiet for a long moment. "Where are they now?" "Safe, hidden. But if I die without making this arrangement, my assets get seized. My family gets destroyed. Those children lose everything. Maybe they should." Rothschild's eyes flashed. "I've done terrible things, Mr. Thompson. I know that. I've spent my entire life building something monstrous. But those children are not monsters. They're just children." Marcus thought about Zoe. About the weight of sins being passed from generation to generation. "Your information has to be complete. Every name, Every location. Everything. It will be. And if I find out you held anything back, if there's a single council member you protected, the deal is off. I come for your grandchildren myself. You would threaten children. I would threaten anyone who threatens mine. That's the lesson you taught me. Rothschild studied him for a long moment. You've changed, Mr. Thompson. You're not the blind fool Nicole described. Nicole made me this way. You made me this way. Perhaps, or perhaps this is who you always were. You just needed the right motivation to become him. Rothschild reached into his jacket, pulled out a flash drive. Everything is on here. Names, locations, account numbers, the complete history of the Shadow Council. Every crime, every victim, everything. He held it out. Marcus took it. How do I know this is real? Test it. Verify every piece of data. When you're satisfied, you'll keep your end of the bargain. And what about you? Rothschild leaned back in his chair. I'll spend my last weeks in this house, alone, waiting for death. It seems fitting. You deserve worse. I deserve hell, Mr. Thompson, and I suspect I'll get there soon enough. Marcus looked at the flash drive in his hand. Decades of information. Enough to dismantle what remained of the council forever. One more thing. Rothschild raised an eyebrow. Camille, my wife, I want to know everything. How you found her, why you chose her, what really happened. Rothschild was quiet for a long moment. Camille Blackwood was born into one of our founding families. Her mother, Margaret, was a council princess, but Margaret disagreed with our methods. She saw the breeding program as barbaric. When Camille was 3, Margaret faked their deaths and disappeared. How did you find her? We never stopped looking. It took 22 years. By then, Camille had met you, fallen in love, built a life. So you used me. We facilitated your relationship. Your genetic profile was desirable. High intelligence, strong immune system, entrepreneurial drive. Combined with Camille's bloodline, you would produce exceptional offspring. Zoe. She exceeded every expectation, the perfect synthesis of both lineages. Marcus felt sick. And when Camille found out, when she started investigating, she discovered our surveillance, found the records we had been keeping. She was going to expose everything. So you killed her. Nicole killed her, on my orders. I regret it now, not because it was wrong, but because it set everything in motion. Your awakening, your crusade, the destruction of everything I built. That's not regret, that's self-pity. Perhaps, but it's all I have left. Marcus turned to leave. Mr. Thompson. He stopped, but didn't turn around. Your daughter, Zoe, she's remarkable. Not because of her genetics, because of who she is. The courage she showed when she stopped you from shooting me. That wasn't breeding, that was character. I know. Take care of her. The world will need people like her. Marcus walked out without another word. The data was real. Every piece of information verified, every name checked, every account confirmed. Over the next 6 months, the remaining council infrastructure was systematically destroyed. 23 more arrests. 12 countries. Billions of dollars in assets seized. The breeding program records were released to the public. Thousands of families finally learned the truth about their own histories. The Thompson Foundation expanded. 112 children recovered. Families reunited. Lives restored. Marcus testified before Congress, before the United Nations, before the International Criminal Court. He told his story, Camille's story, Zoe's story, the story of how one man's blindness had almost cost him everything, and how one little girl's courage had saved them all. Alexander Rothschild died 6 weeks after their meeting, alone in his compound, no family by his side. His grandchildren were placed with relatives in Switzerland. Marcus kept his word. They were never touched. Some sins could not be passed to the next generation. 1 year after the island, Marcus Thompson stood in his living room watching Zoe blow out candles on her 9th birthday cake. Dorothy was there, Derek, Detective Chen, William Chen, even Agent Rodriguez. The house was full of laughter, full of love, full of life. Make a wish, butterfly. Zoe closed her eyes tight, concentrated, blew out all 9 candles in one breath. Everyone cheered. What did you wish for? Dorothy asked. Zoe shook her head. Can't tell. It won't come true. Not even a hint. Zoe thought about it. Okay, one hint. I wished for things to stay exactly like this, forever. Marcus felt tears in his eyes. That's a good wish, butterfly. I know. That's why I made it. Later that night, after the party, after the guests had gone home, Marcus tucked Zoe into bed. The butterfly clip sat on her nightstand. She still wore it sometimes, on special occasions, but she didn't need it anymore. Daddy. Yes, butterfly. Thank you. For what? For waking up, for fighting the bad guys, for being my daddy again. Marcus kissed her forehead. Thank you for never giving up on me, even when I didn't deserve it. You always deserved it. You just forgot for a while. I'll never forget again. I know. Zoe closed her eyes. Daddy? Yes. I'm glad you're here. Me too, butterfly. Me too. He sat beside her bed until she fell asleep, watched her breathe, marveled at the miracle of her existence. This child who had survived 8 months of abuse, who had been targeted by the most powerful organization in the world, who had faced monsters and emerged stronger. His daughter. His everything. Marcus walked to the window, looked out at the ocean, the moonlight dancing on the waves. He thought about everything that had happened, the recording that had started it all, the chase through the warehouse, the confrontation on the island. He thought about Camille, about the love they had shared, about the secrets she had kept to protect them. He thought about Nicole, about the monster who had become reluctantly an ally, about redemption and whether it was ever truly possible. He thought about the council, about the centuries of evil they had perpetrated, about the families they had destroyed, the children they had stolen. All of it over now, not because of governments or armies or agencies, because one little girl had worn a butterfly clip to bed, because one father had finally listened. Marcus touched the window glass. I did it, Camille. I kept her safe. I became the father she deserved. The wind rustled outside, almost like a whisper. Marcus smiled. Watch over us, both of us, forever. He walked back to Zoe's room, looked at her one more time. Peaceful, safe, loved. His daughter, his reason for everything. Tomorrow there would be more work, more children to find, more families to help. The Thompson Foundation was growing every day. But tonight there was only this: a father and a daughter, a family rebuilt, a man who had learned almost too late that the only thing that really mattered was love. The next morning, Zoe woke to the smell of pancakes. She ran downstairs. Marcus was at the stove, wearing an apron, looking ridiculous. Daddy, you're making breakfast. I am. Butterfly pancakes, your favorite. But you never cook? I'm learning. Dorothy's teaching me. Zoe climbed onto a stool at the counter. Daddy? Yes, Butterfly. I love our new life. Marcus flipped a pancake, slightly lopsided, but recognizably butterfly-shaped. Me too, baby. Me too. Are you happy? He stopped, put down the spatula, walked around the counter, knelt beside her. I'm happier than I've ever been in my entire life, because I have you. Zoe hugged him. We're a team now, right? The best team ever. Team Thompson. Team Thompson. Forever. They ate breakfast together, laughing at Marcus's cooking attempts, planning their day, being a family. Outside, the sun rose over the Pacific Ocean. A new day dawning, a new chapter beginning. Marcus Thompson had walked through fire, had faced monsters, had nearly lost everything. But in the end, he had found what truly mattered. Not money, not power, not success. Family, love, being present, being a father. And as he watched his daughter laugh at another lopsided pancake, he knew with absolute certainty that this was enough. More than enough. This was everything. 3 years later, Zoe Thompson stood on a stage in front of 5,000 people. She was 12 now. Taller, more confident, but still wearing the butterfly clip on special occasions. Today was a special occasion. The Thompson Foundation Annual Gala. Their biggest fundraiser of the year. "My name is Zoe Thompson," she said into the microphone. Her voice was clear, strong, unafraid. 3 years ago, I was an 8-year-old girl being abused by my stepmother. I was scared. I was alone. I thought no one would ever save me. The audience was silent. But my daddy woke up. He heard me. He fought for me. And because of him, I'm standing here today. She looked at Marcus in the front row. He was crying. Not ashamed. The Thompson Foundation has helped find and rescue over 300 children in the past 3 years. 300 kids who were lost, who were scared, who thought no one would ever save them. She paused. But someone did. Someone always does. Because that's what we do. We wake up. We listen. We fight. Zoe held up the butterfly clip. This belonged to my mother. My real mother. Camille Thompson. She died trying to protect me. She never got to see me grow up. But I know she's watching. I know she's proud. Tears were streaming down her face now, but she kept going. To all the children out there who are scared, who feel alone, who think no one cares, I want you to know someone does care. Someone will come for you, just like my daddy came for me. She looked directly at the camera, broadcasting her speech worldwide. You are not alone, you are loved, and help is coming. Standing ovation. 5,000 people on their feet, cheering, crying, believing. Marcus walked onto the stage, wrapped his daughter in his arms. I'm so proud of you, Butterfly. I'm proud of you too, Daddy. They held each other as the applause thundered around them. Father and daughter, survivors, fighters, family. The war against darkness would never truly end. There would always be monsters, always be children who needed saving, always be battles to fight. But they would fight them together, Team Thompson. Forever. And somewhere beyond the veil, Camille Thompson watched her husband and daughter embrace on that stage, watched them become the heroes she always knew they could be. She smiled. Her family was whole, her daughter was safe, her legacy would live on, not in bloodlines or genetics or breeding programs. In love, in courage, in the unbreakable bond between a father and his butterfly. That was her gift to the world. That was the truth the Shadow Council never understood. Love was not a weakness to exploit. Love was the power that destroyed them. And love was the only thing that truly lasted. Forever and always. The end.